dun, dun. Hopefully someone out there can hear me. Hey, darling. Whew. Hey, good evening, everyone. Starting to get rolling here. Waiting for the guests to come on. Here comes Anna and the ever mysterious Tim. Just texted me, so we'll have both our guests, which is a good thing. That's good, Matt. Good to see you on time.
Hello.
Hey, Anna. How are you? Tim will be on. He just texted me, so.
Okay.
He was really excited about this one because he likes making bad guys, you know? This is like right up his alley. Who would have known that? Tim likes making bad guys.
Well, I like to do. Well, I guess as a DM, you have to have a little bit of love to creating bad guys. Otherwise, you should not do something else.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's part of the essential duties as a DM is to create bad guys.
Look at that. It's like, Tim likes making bad guys? No. Yeah. That was fun.
Yep. Let's see here. You need to log into Twitch and stuff.
So I really appreciate you taking. Hey, Justinius. Oh yeah, this is it. This is 5 and 5. This is it. This is the 5th one tonight. Hey, I only have 4 next week. So Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday next week. They're all evening. So I really appreciated that. That shield's awesome. I was talking to Tony Winslow Brill directly one-on-one. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's such an awesome shield." I'm like, "Yeah."
That was a quick and dirty, but it was fun. Yeah,
that's quick and dirty. It's good. They're the ones.
Yeah.
They're the ones that like people remember. Like, wow, look at that. So yeah, cool.
I remember, and I think Ed Greenwood can appreciate it because one dwarf that has the beer glass on his shield, so to drink minimum can beat the beer case. Yeah, there's a. I forgot what the name is, but I think he is some sort of important NPC in Forgotten Realms. He's with there is a calendar, Forgotten Realms calendar, and the dwarf, he has a shield, a wooden round shield with a beer glass on it.
That's awesome. Very, very cool.
Yeah, I think that's Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's so long since I saw it, so yeah. But I bet that Ed could tell us all the stories about that.
I imagine so. I haven't talked to Ed and Eric Menke about the next Gabbin show. So. Yeah, of course. We always, Meerkat, we talk over the ads. That's my shtick. It's been since day one.
Yep.
Well, since I had ads, so, you know. Yeah, since I had sponsors. Didn't have sponsors at the beginning. But, yeah, absolutely. We like talking over stuff. Look, we're 10 minutes before we're supposed to start here. So, yes. This is the shtick. Before and after, during, you know.
Yeah, we bullshit a bit before.
Yeah, BSing's always fun.
Yep. Sometimes that's the best part of the show.
Yeah. Well, Len's shows, they were priceless when Leonard
come on. They were fantastic.
Priceless.
He just went straight in and then he just pooped off and disappeared.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. Len found the close button faster than anybody else. Everybody else is like, where can I find it and so on. He always knew where it was, and he was just like, boom, and he was gone.
For not having good technology skills, he knew where that button was.
He knew where to find that button faster than anybody else.
So true. Pre-stream gabbing, yes, that's it. I forgot one thing. I get my shield up.
Yeah, I'm working on some timeline stuff here for my campaign. Just posted some stuff on Patreon, so now I feel like I can earn a couple hours having fun. But that will be something that will be on Patreon too, down the line. So yeah, and and
Did you like? We can talk about it offline. But the idea about maybe doing one of those for the fundraiser, like as a complimentary gift. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Because you figure all the stuff I already have, 7 Elmore posters.
yeah.
I haven't even finalized the Reaper, Stratagem Wiz Dice, and the Infinite Dimensions Games giveaway show.
Add to the
We're
collection.
gonna have way more
Yep.
stuff this year than we've ever had before, so. Yeah. Pretty good. Let's see here. I know there's something I'm forgetting to do, and it's just, well, too late now, right, everyone? Too late now. Whatever it is at this point. Hopefully everyone's doing well on a Sunday night here. Oh, look at this. Tim's coming in before 7 p.m. Oh, my. He must be really excited. Oh, look at that. And he's got the... What's up, dude?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Very, very cool, man. Whew.
What's going on?
Oh, not much. We're gonna have a fun discussion tonight, you know. So this will finish the 5 and 5 week. Yeah.
Yeah, you survived this week too.
Yeah.
You still married, I hope.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good. Yep.
Then I go on a little mini business trip. I leave tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
Do an overnight up in Northeast PA. And I'll be home late Tuesday. So yeah, I haven't done a scene change back for Thursday night. So yeah, darling, and darling, you're playing. Darling, you're playing it. Coming up Saturday. So yes, I hope that's the right button. How big is Starship Warden? It's a mile long. No, it's not. It could be theoretically part of the Barrier Peaks. That's a theory, but it's longer. Gitano's got it. He loves it. So it's 8 miles long. Holy jeez. Yeah, it's
Part of the Barrier Peaks could be from the Warden, right? Because it was just a section of a ship that was ejected.
right. Very true.
Anyone see the Dyson redraw of the map?
No.
He did a redraw because there's just tons and tons of empty, useless space in a big round thing. And so he redid it as a triangular shape. So it has, he put all the numbers in, put all the references in, but it now has a more manageable raw area.
That's cool.
Yeah, if I run that, which I will, I'm going to run it for my kid. I'm going to use that one.
We have a little minor thing with about Tyson. I was like, well, look at that.
Oh, we had a fighter. Yeah.
Hey, well, great to see you tonight. I'll tell you.
We're trying to get him for.
Trying to get him on the fantasy map. Make sure that we have success. Should be a very interesting discussion tonight.
Yep.
I haven't finalized next Sunday's topic yet. I'm trying to go for a DM's round table, but I'm not sure yet. It'll be next Sunday or the Sunday after. Hey Vancouver, did you get my messaging on the GaryCon thing? On the GaryCon server? GrailCon, listen to me. Your reply, I mean, we'd love to have you participate in some of the effect somehow. You know, I know it's rough. Time slots are not good that are left, but because we have such a great community, they've all stepped up. We'd love to have you participate somehow, though.
I let my son use my desk area here for online training sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
And I can see he's done drawing on my desk, my desk here.
Oh, now he's got to be punished. Right.
I have a whole. It was a whole cow skin hide covering the top of my desk. So he's written on this leather.
Oh no! Now he's got to lose a finger.
That's right. The beatings will continue until morale.
Don't say that in the live stream. He's kidding, everyone. He's kidding.
I don't do that. Just kidding.
I know you're kidding.
No, I know. Well, I have to talk to him about it. And actually, it's pretty good. It's sort of a stylized view of like the Spider-Man spider.
Creating an antithesis. The antithesis. An antithesis. And Greyhawk or wherever. Could be a cool discussion. Multifaceted tonight, yes. But of course, because Tim's point campaign's outside Greyhawk, which we're talking about. But,
Or is it?
Or is it?
Yeah.
That's true. We could make cityscape. We could make that
Overlord
cityscape.
might
Oh,
side of the planet.
yeah, whole shitty other side of the map. Sorry there, anyway. That's yes.
Great Big says give him a pass, Tim. I'll talk to him about affecting other people's property in consideration for others. Yeah, so he'll get a lecture.
A lecture, that's it.
And I'll tell him that I'm a little disappointed, which will be way worse than anything else.
Yes.
I'm a little
disappointed.
I'm a little disappointed.
I'm disappointed. So I'm going to the next BattleTech game. I'm going to disable your ejection seat in your mech. There you go.
I'll just point blank shoot him in the back.
Oh yeah, mechs have ejection seats.
Oh,
Absolutely.
cool. That must be a 0-0 seat then, because you're so low and don't go fast. It must be a 0-0.
It's straight up.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep.
So that cool. Did you try the Frog God gift certificate? I just want to make sure that it was working. So hey, Longshot, good to see you.
I used one. It worked fine.
Awesome. Because we got the new ones here. So we're coming on 2 minutes early, like usual. Boom! Oh, look at that. See, you guys, I had started before you even popped on there. All right. Look at that. Good evening, everyone. My camera's not lined up. These kind of nights, these kind of days. So think about this. And good evening, everyone. Wednesday night, we had a great Larry Elmore discussion, right? That was Wednesday.
Yep.
So then Thursday, I run my equipment downstairs. Then Friday, we had Fancy Mapping Show. I run all my equipment back upstairs. Then Saturday, I had the game in the morning, and I ran all my equipment back downstairs.
Down again, and now back up again.
So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I needed
You need 2 computers.
I do, but I'm not going to take my sons. But yeah, so hopefully everything's going well tonight. Good evening. I'm Jay Kidler Gazumba, and tonight we have some surprises too. We got some cool things to discuss. The great Anna Meyer, who stepped it up one more slot in something that's really exciting, and we'll show you at some point. And the ever mysterious Tim, the killer of all killers, and when it comes to
who did not step it up.
You've stepped it up in your own way, in your own crazy way, right?
In my own mysterious way.
Yes, in his own mysterious way. And Tim's going to be for the fundraiser event, by the way, which we are. And like Vancouver's on, and I know they want to participate, and we're gonna try. I try and fit everyone in, but let's just talk about that right off the bat first. We got 9 streams, 3 on Friday, 4 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and then the wrap-up show, this Gabbin on that Sunday night from the February 18th to the 20th. And we also have Greyhawk Reborn, who's going to have sign-up events for their games going on, and we're going to do it through Warhorn, and it'll be a fee or something like that. It's all going through Tiltify. It all goes directly in, so we don't have to collect money right into the Tiltify system. But we're really excited about this anime disc. Great, unbelievably wonderful-looking banner for it with some Elmores in the background. Oh yeah, this is just fantastic. So. It is awesome. And note something, Eric Mona's already confirmed for my game on Saturday night, but Tim will be assisting me with the baddies again. So that's even more scary for all the good people, right, Anna? So also attending, yes. Also, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. So, hey, Dave, good to see you. Oh, you know what? I hid that. There we go. That's why I was like, why isn't that coming up? But just note Tim will be assisting, and there will be dragons for our game. But look at all that.
I have a little advice for everyone during that whole series of adventures.
And what is that advice?
Walk softly and carry dragon repellent.
Oh,
of something like that, yes. But
you have to go into and kind of tell us what dragon repellent could be, so to speak. What you could use to repel a dragon.
Yeah.
Lots
Dr.
of
Locke
spells.
down in the town has a special oil that if you spray it, it will save
yep.
them. Never had a complaint or a
Yep.
return bottle.
Exactly. Never had a complaint. That's awesome.
Only 5 gold pieces each. It's a steal.
Oh, that's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, so note that that'll be a blast. Some other special guests. Anna will be playing in the game. Some of my regulars, I think Bones and MJ Russell will be playing in the game too, because Stella is unavailable. She's going to be in California. So no Venarium Vord making Rose carry bags of rocks like last
Well,
time.
I'm in California. She could pop in here. And...
yeah, she'll be filming she's actually filming a D&D game.
Oh, wow.
For another, so that's on YouTube. So pretty cool.
Yep.
Yes, Tim is the director. You never know what's going to happen here, Gaetano. So, all right.
I'm just helping out.
Go ahead, Tim.
I'm just helping out whatever Jay tells me that I'm.
That's right, because we're gonna smash the 10. We raised $18,000 last year. That was over 2 stream events. We're gonna $10,020 was raised this time last year. We've done $1,000, then 4,000, then 8,000. I forget. 1, 2, 4, then 10 in each year, and that's something like that. Yeah, we've crushed it. So we're looking.
And I'm preparing my monologue.
Yeah, excellent. Yes, bloviating Tim. So we're looking forward to everyone really helping out, participating on that. Once again, February 18th to the 20th. How did you didn't post your mini? How did it turn out after I went to bed? What? Oh, you're talking about Darling's mini, right? Okay. Yeah. So she posted Tino on Instagram and Twitter. I saw it. It looks really cool. Yeah. It's really neat. It's good. It's a first good job, and as Darling is starting to do some crafting on her stream, which is cool. And I gave her some recommendations where to go for some streams that are currently live, that regular for advice. So Antithesis. What comes to mind, Anna, when you talk about an antithesis?
Yeah, to me, it's kind of, since English is not my native language, I actually had to. I kind of have a basic understanding, so I had to go and look it up, and it's sort of supposed to be an opposite or something. So I'm kind of intrigued, and because this seems to me like something that could be many different things, meaning you can have something what is opposing you in your quest, and you can have lots of things. But I'm also thinking of because I always try to think the big picture, so to speak, meaning the different factions. What is against one faction against another one? You have a secret faction that is working against whatever is the main goal of the party, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things, but I can also see like silly things, meaning you have the standard hero, and then you can have the kind of the anti-hero that is there for fun. They're like a lot of movies, you have the fun, loose, kind of funny sidekick that just lights things up and make it more fun and bearable, and it's not all serious.
Watch this, stuff. Anna. Watch this.
Yeah?
Tim, name one of those in my campaign. Funny, goofy, but annoying sidekicks that is an antithesis.
That is an antithesis?
That is an antithesis. That I just said it.
Are you talking about Funkin?
Funkin Hardy Peak.
Yes.
Lisden.
Yep.
Right?
Fritz.
Yes, there you go.
Yep.
So yes, Anna, you're dead on.
Andrea.
Andrea Winchester, yes.
Yep.
Perfect. Yes. So perfect point, Anna.
Yeah, those are my kind of general ideas when I've heard the term and stuff, and started thinking about it a bit. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point. So and that sure brings up another point. There's a difference between an anti-hero and an antithesis, but that doesn't mean that you can't turn one into the other and vice versa.
Yeah.
Right. So I have a Miracle the Chaotic up there, number one, because it's one of Tim's favorites of all time. And number two, he was an antithesis of ours in the very first fundraiser event we ever did, Dale, way back when we did one on the Orbs of Dragonkind, and he was trying to use one, and his stats, he's a wild mage actually, in his stats from that one module book that he's in. Yeah, and that was the first time Anna ever played in my game.
Yeah.
and that was the first. So, but that you're right. There's some places where, yeah, amen, exactly. You can have an antithesis and antihero interchange or turn into one or unturn into another. So Tim, how about what's your thoughts? First thoughts on an antithesis?
When I think in the term for a game, an antithesis can be also a synonym for nemesis, I suppose.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be the opposite. It means kind of opposite or contrast. So usually, if the party is extra good and nice, then the antithesis is somebody who's extra not that.
Mhm.
That's the way all
Hey,
mine
David.
run.
Yeah, yours. Oof. So Tim's tend to take a darker side as opposed to mine, where I have a lot that are comedy reliefs in there that are just for my pleasure and for we all there's certain people out in the audience that want to see me play Michael Baton or want to see me play Fritz, right? Because they love the antithesis that's in the campaign party. But Tim's are much darker.
Well,
Yeah.
are they really antithesis? Because they're not really opposites or contrasting.
Well, they're a little bit of an antithesis.
They are. I
See,
guess
look
they
at
are
that! Look at that!
in their philosophy.
Every
They
time I
bring
say,
attention. They bring attention
yeah,
and a stress to the situation because they're usually not on your side fully. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and it's like in my campaign, I because I'm very often like Tim. There is a deep dark side to a lot of my campaigns. They go into the depths, so to speak, both literally and figuratively and morally and ethically, whatever. So in my current campaign, I've introduced.
exactly.
It's kind of interesting because there is one faction, the old faith, the druidic faith, the old Flan faith, that have a built-in antithesis, and that is the dark faith, meaning that the dark druids, the dark faith is kind of the opposite of the regular druids and stuff. Yeah, there you have it. So it's interesting. It's one faction that is fighting with itself in some ways, or has a built-in opposite into it, so to speak, in itself.
And I've seen, Anna, that that's like you've really gone deep into bringing out a lot of the lore of the Flan and the old days. If you didn't see the fantasy mapping show on Friday night, Anna brought up this entire cave complex that is like unbelievable, which goes back 2,000 years, which is in the Shieldlands, right?
Yep.
Yeah, which is awesome as far as the Flan, and so we all have taken a different direction with our antithesis in the campaign. Like I have main antithesis from the Dark Brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
And so Tim and his Greyhawk has Iusians for the most part, or people in the other tribes, right?
yes. So there is another segment that's actually the main antithesis in the campaign. The Iusians are a third competitor in the region. So
cool.
Yeah. So Tim may give some little discussion about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Those tunnels are. I would never go into those tunnels are death traps, as we saw from Friday night.
Yeah, they're kind of meat grinder. Yeah, in a way. But also, I've also turned Ius into an antithesis in some ways, because he was on the same side as the Flan. He was kind of created originally as a Flan hero and promoted and kind of carried into that role. And he started by filling it very faithfully and was great at becoming a new Flan superhero, so to speak, and taking no prisoners and just go ahead. And then all of a sudden he went off script and started killing Flans as well as others. And then all of a sudden he was turned into a sort of antithesis, and that changed the whole dynamic in my campaign.
Yeah, and this is where you got to be careful. You can't splash 20 different bad guys in, and the last thing you want to do is have a bad guy come in every adventure and kill them.
Exactly.
Right?
You have to. These are the general big things, and then that's kind of the backdrop. And I haven't even told my players, so I hope they don't watch this, because then there will be too many spoilers. So that's the general background of the whole campaign that might go on for years. We've already gone in the second year now.
I mean, so you made the first year's the toughest. Get through 1 year and you still have them there. That's a great thing.
Most of them, yeah.
Well,
some of them.
Tim, how many? All right. So what do you think? 20 players have played in my campaign over the years. About 20 different people that aren't playing anymore. A little bit, or here and there. Or...
I think that's close. I wouldn't know an exact, but I think that is pretty close.
So that's not a big deal, Anna. I mean,
that's
you got Marco who's no longer playing in. You got the other Bill. You got and you got the guys in the 90s. A lot of people in the 80s. People have come in for 1 or 2 games. That's it. So that's a good thing though. You're going to lose. You're always going to lose players. So So where do you start here? Anyone who's fairly new to Greyhawk. So say you're just starting out, and you're gonna one of the giveaways for tonight. So I got 2 sets to give. I got at least 1 set to give away to start off. So I did a high level thing here, the Demons and Devils, which is a really cool one with a bunch of scenario events in it. And then we have our sister Secret of Saltmarsh. As in reprints. And I have another set that will possibly give away. We'll see.
Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh was the one I first ran for my daughter when she was first D&D adventure I ran.
Kersey and Patrick, of course, those. And the good thing about Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh is that it's almost like Slav Squad. I can barely say it.
Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh.
Is that you build up? It builds up over who like in the last adventure is called the final enemy. Even though you can't do them 3 straight because the levels are too far apart, but. You have Ghost of Saltmarsh now for 5 years, which is really well done because it's a lot of rehashed adventures, so it's very similarly. But you can develop you can take someone in that campaign and you can develop it into an antithesis. As you've heard for Casey Brown, Casey's taken Omni because he runs a Saltmarsh campaign. It's turned Lord Omni, the dwarf who works for Ayus, into the antithesis of that group of his adventuring group. Another one, if you go to Hamlet, and you want to take these, we're talking about published source here. You want to take Hamlet, you have Zert, who's an agent in Hamlet, right, roaming around, and you can use him to your advantage, create him as an antithesis in the area of Hamlet through Nulb, and he does, he gets away. You always want these people to try and get away. 2 or 3, Michael's a good thing, and I have, absolutely.
I would like to interject a little bit.
Go for it.
A antithesis does not need to be a super villain or the head villain.
True.
It could be like a bizarro adventuring group that adventures opposed in opposition to you. So, you could have this other adventuring group that works for the bad guys doing sinister things to thwart your players. And so now it's like a team versus team. Then it's a contrast. They're the opposite.
Where have I seen other adventuring groups on Mercenary Guildhall listings that are pains in the ass of the other groups?
I don't know.
The Altamir Enforcers, maybe, and the Fighters of the Light. Right, and that's a great point, Tim. You take adventuring groups can be a serious thorn in the side of other groups.
And sometimes he could be a kind of an adversary that the players or the characters shouldn't kill, or because for the sake of the adventure. I have one example in my Rel Devin campaign when they were trying to get into the court of Prince Carvin in Rel Devin to ask him of help and get to clarify it and so on and so forth to get their mission and get help and resources and whatnot. And then they had the herald of the court. And he was the one that had granted access to get into the court and talk to anyone, and he kind of threw them off a loop, because in order to, you have to know how to address the prince, meaning you have to know all his titles and everything in order to get in, and he wouldn't tell because he wanted to make sure that only the top quality applicants for the prince time will even be in question, so to speak. Anyone who was not impeccable in manners and standing and were not allowed in the room or anywhere near the room. And so it became like a huge thing for 5 sessions to go out and make sure you found the right people that knew the prince's all titles and holdings and how to address him properly and so on, and knowing that he was the head of he was the prince of so and so, and he was the landholder of so and so, and he was the head wizard of so and so society so and the chairman of blah blah blah, etc., and so on and so forth, for like 3 minutes or something. So, and they had to rehearse it and do it, and that turned into, he was kind of an antithesis, and he was kind of a really a pain in the butt to get to get over, so to speak. They couldn't just go in and kill him, because that would kind of turn the whole thing into the wrong way, so to speak. He was
sort of kind of worm tonguish sort of guy, where he's
he was good. He was one of these bureaucrats like DMV that you get to, that you need to go through, and he's there just to do his mission, and he's looking at his rules, and that's it, so to speak. He have no improvisation, no fantasy, no creativity. He's just there to do his rules. That's his job.
That's his job. He's just be doing a good job.
Yep.
So you said the word that goes back all the way for us to 1980, Prince. Tim, right? What, the Prince of Ulick? When we didn't know anything about what all no names, nothing, just Prince of Ulick, whatever the title is, Fighter 9, Thief 12. I'm thinking, why the hell is this the Prince of Thief? So I was thinking, well, maybe he's probably kind of
He's an embezzler, that's why.
Yeah,
He's really
exactly.
organized crime, that's why.
Before he was Olenstad Korand, he was something different in my game, and it kind of stuck. So
yeah.
And if you saw Thursday night, you got these beastmen rummaging through the northeastern principality, and in the Prince's land, he's like, it's not my problem. It's Altamira's problem. They caused it, even though there's no proof of it. So there's political antithesis. Not even on an adventuring level, and that's a good thing.
I like you can have the adventuring party that follows your heroes, and right when they fight the big bad guy, they've just been trailing them. And right now, when the last couple people barely have a few hit points, they bandaged everyone up. They're going through the treasure. These dudes show up fresh because they've just been following you, and they go, "We're going to take this from you now," and then they can go and provide it to their patron instead of your patron.
Yep.
And they can be the same alignment, but just competitors saying, "Hey, sorry."
And Tim is well known also for another antithesis, especially in city adventuring, the tax collector. So you gotta watch him when it comes to. I just dropped the frame. How the heck did I
dropped a couple of frames?
Yeah,
but
just
not
dropped a couple
it went wonky. I didn't hear what you said. You said I'm known for what?
Tim is well known for the tax collector as being another nemesis in his game. Going into a city adventuring where you're like, so taking all your money on fees, taxes, those kind of things. So yes,
I had an adventure once when there was the village of, and the high and mighty and the tax collector was coming. So the high and mighty came to the poor starting characters and say, "Oh, you need to hide my wealth. I need to hide my wealth here. You need to take care of all this wealth and stuff." So I was testing them to see what they would do. Would they take it? Would they take and run with it? And so on and so forth. And see. And then the tax collector was supposed to come in and go through everybody's coffers and see how much wealth they had and so on and so forth. And that means that, and if they played it right, they could go and tell the tax collector and give him the money and say, "Oh, these people, they herded the money," and then they will be in good standing with the tax collector and hated by the mighty in the village or vice versa. So it was kind of a moral conundrum and see what the players wanted to do, so to speak. And there was a bit of discussion. "Oh, we have all this cool stuff. Let's run with it," or something. So
I like some of the way in Warhammer, the way they do it, and this is interesting too. If you want to create tension, is the nobility and gentry, they didn't have to pay taxes. There was a lot of taxes they didn't have to pay, but the growing middle class and merchants and businessmen, they had a lot of taxes. So you can do the same thing with the characters where their nemesis is a royal or noble. He doesn't have to pay anything.
Yeah, that was the thing in medieval Europe for the most part. Being a noble was that you were alleviated from taxes. That was one of the main perks of being a noble, is that you didn't have to pay taxes.
So if you're a noble with a business, you're making it big.
or large lands and stuff. But then you had to serve the king or the ruler in other things. You have to send soldiers and agree with him politically and marry your daughter to his cousin or something like that, maybe. But yeah,
So, Dewey Carthan, good to see you on, man. Great to
yeah.
see everyone.
Hello.
So everyone know this is my fifth stream in 5 straight days. So if I'm a little goofy and whifty, plus I got a business trip tomorrow, that's why. So I apologize. But we're giving away like I said, we're giving away Salt Marsh and Demons and Devils tonight. Two very cool things, and I may sweeten it up. I want to share something else I got from everyone. I got this. I was so Larry Elmore inspired. Plus, so I got this box set sealed, the Elmores. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the miniatures. Yes.
Yeah, because I hadn't gotten
Cool.
that one. This is the one piece of art that I have not gotten yet that we were talking about that I really want to get that piece for downstairs. So, because
Are they painted? They do.
oh, these aren't painted. These are
okay.
dark swords, and they're all metals. So Bill will paint them up. So
Cool.
yeah. I won't be giving that. That's not a giveaway, everyone.
I was just going.
No.
Don't bring your hopes up too high.
But we'll have a lot of other fun stuff coming up.
You realize everything you buy, you need to buy 2 of them. One to give away.
If you could get 2 of them, that's the problem with out of print stuff. It's hard to get 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
But we got some unbelievable stuff for the fundraiser, which we'll talk about again at the end. So let's just say you're in Hamlet, and you have a new campaign, or wherever you are, and Gargamon, great to see you coming in, man. Thank you very much. Good to see my old school friend, 2nd edition playing old school friend, coming in there. What do you do? Like, you can run adventures. You can run it and run it verbatim, but you want to create like an everlasting memory with them. You want your adventuring party. Do you want them talking behind your back? You want them talking when you're not around. Like, hey, what do we do about this? And this is a good way to make that happen. Is to introduce. It could be a thief who's pickpocketing, targeting easy prey in your party, right? It could be the merchant in town that's ripping you off. The money changer's ripping you off, and you know it, right? Tim comes up with a ton of these, or it could be someone who is working at a bakery as a cover, like Tim was. Yep. Tim's character.
That's bread in Highport.
In Highport. There's all sorts of things you could do. So think of a little at low level. You don't want to bring out the big guns at low level. You want to test the waters a little bit and try different things.
Have some kids be the thieves that steal stuff from the party.
Yes. Yep.
What are you going to do? Kill the villagers?
Yeah,
kids?
that's a great one. Well, Alan would. Alan slaughter. Yeah, Alan's.
Well, I know, but that would get him and hauled off to the chief of justice. And,
if you watch Thursday night, I was trying to get them to kill those kids out front. If you saw that near the pig pen, I was tempting them. They're like, we want to play, and there's all this other bad stuff going around. So town bullies is a good one. Corrupt sheriff, great ideas. Really good ideas at low level. Someone who's hammering them like a tax collector, or the people's constables in Greyhawk, who are racketeering, nickel and diming them to death.
But it is fun sometimes to when the characters are coming up to like 4th, 5th level or something like that, 6 maybe, so they're starting to feel. Then it's cool to introduce the same type of, when they go to a new settlement, that there is a bunch of bullies that want to test them, and to see if the players have realized that they can just beat the crap out of them and settle the issue right away. And I had that in my Real Devin campaign, and it took a couple of them. They still thought that they were like 1st, 2nd level and everything was dangerous, and then one realized they're probably not so difficult, so he just got pissed off and just took his weapon and just hit him, and he killed him almost immediately, and everybody stopped, and they were like, damn, we can do it, and then went on killing spree, and problem solved, and everybody in the village were happy because these bullies were gone, and they became heroes right away.
I had in Hamlet, if you're familiar with Hamlet, there's the monk and the big fighter dude.
Oh, the dumb fighter.
There's that low level. There's that low level mage. There's also a thief who's a little bit higher level. And my son's group, they had gone into the moat house. They're coming back with some treasure, and they were injured on the way back. And I had those 3 ambush them. And so the plan was the low level mage was going to cast sleep on them, and then the fighter and monk were going to come in and take their stuff and render them. unfortunately for the bad guys, there's more elves than humans. There's more elves than not in the party. So the sleep didn't work, and it went really bad for the half ogre fell asleep, but the elves did not. So it ended up going bad for the ambushers. But that was fun to do. That was just fun to.
Yeah.
They thought it was all over.
That's like, and it's tough as a DM. This is very hard to do. Not know as your antitheses what you know. So casting sleep on elves, they may not, it's a low level mage may not know that. It's not
Right, he doesn't know.
Right,
They didn't know the whole party because he was recruited by the other two.
Yeah.
And that's always tough to do. And
Well, that's why.
Go ahead, Anna.
Yeah.
I was going to say that's why intelligence is one of the most important stats.
Yep.
Intelligence and wisdoms of your NPCs and monsters. Always use that as a guideline. Meaning, a high intelligent, very wise monster will know most of the things you do or figure it out fairly quickly. A low wisdom monster would have no clue whatsoever and go into whatever trap.
And on top of it, how does their intelligence interact with their intel? What do they know of the other group, and then what can that intelligence do with that information? And so that's a fun exercise to do. Like, what would they know?
Yep.
And I like to keep the bad guys fairly ignorant as the players are.
And especially the ones that haven't been around, they're not informed, they're not in the loop, so to speak.
Sorry, I'm multitasking here like I shouldn't. I love the low level game, especially now. This doesn't mean newer DMs can't do this. I love the low level game where you have an already established setting that other adventures have been through, that you can use pre-existing antitheses and bring them back. All right, so I think that is so cool. So I do that a lot, and we have Hardby, we have Greyhawk, we have Altamira, and we have Narwhal now, areas that we do it, and I love doing that. It's just,
that means that when you establish a campaign, you should not run away too fast. You should stay in the area and continue to use the material that you developed, so to speak.
And especially in Greyhawk, because you look at the map of Greyhawk, and let me bring this up first, make sure I don't crash the stream, then I'll see if I can go to the other screen. In Greyhawk, you have so much open land. You can go anywhere you want, with the exception of Verberblanc. I'm just kidding, because we know how filled it is there. But you can go almost anywhere you want on this map. And where's my proper edition? Night of Yolk edition.
You can plop stuff down anywhere.
Absolutely, you can plop it down anywhere. And I want to give an example. So, and a lot of you, and this whoops, wrong one here, Anna, wrong one. That was added on for wrong button. There we go. I want to give you an example, and plus I'm going to push Anna's Patreon right here too, because you haven't been completely filled yet. So, and I'm going to hit this up here. All right.
Thank you.
This map here, this area here on this map has from here has Carwood on it, Highlorn, which is something whatever. No, none of this is now. Altamir's there now because Anna has it on a regular map, but none of this stuff is on this map in this whole area. None of it. So, and this is just in the southern Lort Mills, right? So, just note that. And how many miles do you think that is, Anna? 200.
That's several thousand square. That's a couple of thousand square
miles. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
What you see there is probably 3,000-4,000 square miles.
So note that wherever you choose in Greyhawk, there is room for you to expand out and create something from scratch. Yeah. Now I want to
take a week for the characters to go from one end to
Dale.
the other.
I'm gonna tout Dale now here. Where is it? I'm right here, right? Protectorate. Here it is. The Highlanders. All right.
Oh,
Dale, here. So,
it's a big update.
Yeah. So another one. So Ashura the Bear uses the Highlander Castle. This is his area. Yep. And another area that Dale Ashura the Bear is on uses. And look at this. I mean, I'm assuming Dale has way more spots on this map filled than than is on my version of it. So just
That
note.
will be the new version has tons of it. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, that's great. No, that's great, Anna.
Yeah.
So just
that
note
new
that.
preview has. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
Okay, so the new update I did has a lot more detail in this area because Gary Julian wrote up the different baronies and there's a whole bunch of stuff added just to this area. So it's kind of cool. It's starting to get developed.
How many layers is the map, Anna? 60?
Yeah, somewhere like that.
I thought it was 60 layers.
Yeah,
so
something like that.
so note that. And all right, Dale, question since you're out there. How many minor antithesis do you think you have in your campaign? How many majors do you have, individuals or groups or whatever? I just want to, as a question for someone in the audience who I know has a great established Greyhawk game. I'm curious. What do you think yours are? And then Michael von Molku, how many do you have in your Nyrine game? I'd like to know how many you have too. Hey, Amy, just to see some other campaigns out there. Roughly 3, 5, 6, 100. So, but that was just, I wanted to point that out to a lot of people that are new. Yeah. Mark Castle, awesome, Blue. Awesome to hear. That's really fantastic that you're working out and stuff. 4 minors, maybe 10 majors. There you go. Perfect. That's great. But just to note that, because we have a lot of people who are new out there as far as, and we want to show them, all the newer people, that creating an antithesis in a campaign is not that difficult to do, and just to stay with it. Yeah.
Antithesis means opposite or contrast.
Yeah.
So there was a couple questions in there.
Yeah. Not sub campaigns. We're talking about antithesis, Amy. Yeah, the antithesis.
So if you have a really good organization that's promoting the party, there's an antithesis would be a contrasting organization, not necessarily the super villain or the villains, but a contrasting or opposite that probably will have friction and conflict.
Yeah. And it's good to know that. No, so Michael, how many antithesis minors and majors do you have in your Nyrine game? I'm just curious. So, Seekers, that's a good one, Dewey. That's a great organization to use as them too, because they can be real pains in the ass. So we had a group that I haven't used in a long time called the Red Company Mercenaries. And I don't know if they were. I don't know if I got them from published source, but this was in like the early 2000s. I may have taken it from one of the dragons. Oh, and oh shit! I leave that downstairs. I'm sorry. I'm talking to myself. We're creating a new night class, by the way, shortly per request of one of my players. I'll show that as well. Now I forget where the hell I was going with this. What the heck was I? Oh my God, Jay! I don't know what I'm saying tonight. My God, Anna, what the heck was I just saying? I'm getting old, everyone.
Well, it's
hey,
I walk through
Josh
the door,
Sterrett's on.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, it's good to see you.
Awesome. Hi, Josh.
So you can have, as far as merchant groups, you were talking about the Red Company Mercenaries. They hunt named undead. They haven't named undead. I used them for a bit, and I used them 2 or 3 times. Thank you.
But what do they do to pay the bills?
Yeah.
Well, they're bounty hunters against undead.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. So that was another one. So, and how? Oh my gosh, Josh, I've forgotten so much, man. But it's good to see you, man. It's been a while. It's been a real while. I'm glad to see you're on and hanging out, man. That's good to hear. I got these animated emotes, Josh. Now they made partner. So there you go, putting them up. So and when you then begin working together, facing even bigger foe. Yeah. So you can take your antithesis can also work together, of course. And that happens a lot of times in campaigns as they level up. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the right course. It talks about starting with 3 good NPCs and 3 bad ones, letting them flow from there. That's a great point there, Armin. Ethan, that's great. 3 and slot. So Mike's going to be back on at some point. I got either in a game or on the talk show again because he's so fantastic. And we'll catch him on Sunday mornings. Normally is the best time to catch his shows. So. I'm all over the place tonight, Ann. I'm sorry. It's just been a long weekend.
Yeah. And this is the laid back talk show.
This is the laid back hang out and have some fun talk show tonight.
Yep.
Gabbin.
All right. Give us an idea, Anna. Make up from scratch, both Anna and Tim in Greyhawk, a antithesis. Who wants to go first?
I just need to think of a name first, and then I can go.
I'm thinking now. I'm
Gotcha,
thinking
Tim.
a little bit for
Yeah.
my next campaign, and I'm thinking Overking Savener in Karlstrand. He's
Okay,
the
public source
Overking of the United Kingdom of Alyssa. I can see him. He's chief of his spycraft or intelligence or his kind of secret service that is out there to gather information and kill off his opponents. I can see that boss leader there or some middle manager or something in that organization be someone that the party might go and ask the party for help, and then all of a sudden when the party finds something, he can turn into someone who becomes the real terror of the party, and he can come after them and cause all sorts of problem. And he can be an antithesis in meaning that he can shift roles. He can be the quest giver, and then he can turn into the villain after a little while, depending on how the players do, so to speak. That was one example of how to twist something for a campaign.
Awesome. So you're taking a published source one and you're going to run with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is cool.
I'll take that. His boss is a public source one. And then my usual way is that I don't use that really high empathy. I save him for the pinnacle of the campaign. And then I invent a subordinate somewhere in the middle, so to speak. And or maybe even a subordinate of him or her first, and then move up the food chain, so to speak, as the campaign progresses.
Josh, we're talking about creating the antithesis for a campaign. No matter it doesn't have to be Greyhawk, but that's what we're talking about tonight. And low level, high level, just giving people ideas because we really love
All right, I got one.
Here we go. Tim is creating an antithesis for people to use. Go for it.
Yes, this antithesis, he goes by the name Dr. Locke, and he has a little traveling cart and wagon, and he sells Dr. Locke's Miracle Tonic, containing essential oils, rare herbs, and TLC for all those things that ail you. And he's just this harmless huckster, obviously. However, the darker side of it is he transports people, things, and smuggling, and has a large network that he uses for smuggling different things. So he can be basically the opposite of the players. So he's the antithesis of the good guys. He's robbing and by trickery and fraud all the poor people, all the ignorant people, selling them different things. And he does sell moose milk. It's actually dehydrated moose milk. So go ahead.
That was awesome.
He that is so cool.
Does it. Just mix that in your powder. And also, he also has that dragon repellent. No complaints. There's been no complaints for return bottles. If it doesn't work, you get a refund.
Oh, that's
yep.
Look at that from scratch. There you go.
Yep.
So he goes around and he's obviously sinister. So he's defrauding people, but the level of sinisterness is up to the DM. But I think it should be unknown how bad he is for quite some time.
Yeah, and he's more greed than evil, so to speak. That
right. Or he can be fully evil. He can also work for an evil temple as a spy because he's out on the streets. He sees comings and goings, and he talks to people. He finds out who needs special tonics, adventuring types. He goes to the adventuring guild and keeps tabs on things, helps people with bandages. You're going on an important mission. If he doesn't like you, maybe he'll give you some sleep potion instead of healing potion. Dr. Locke and his lovely assistant Sophia.
Oh, that's awesome. From I guarantee Tim just came up with that just then and there. You're much better doing that than I am. That was.
I have one from my current campaign, and this is spoilers a little bit, but it's he's kind of out of commission, sort of, and that was Vakunis. He is a demonologist, and he's from I Use the Evil, and he was supposed to be one of my first villains in the campaign, and the players, they kind of discarded and got rid of him fairly quickly, so to speak, but almost. And his role was he was set by I Use to administer that area, so to speak. And he is a demonologist, that his hobby and profession, so to speak, is to summon demons, control them, and use them and make deals with them and sorts of stuff that way. And he's that's his official mission is so I Use just felt he was a little bit useless, so you put him in one of the backwaters on the front where bad things happen, so you can blame him because he hasn't been that useful, really, bringing in new treasure and stuff like that. And one of the main reason for that is that Vakunis is sort of freelancing a lot of the time because he doesn't like Ayus that much, and he doesn't want to get rid of all the fun stuff. He wants to become Ayus himself, or at least much more powerful. So when he starts summoning and building alliances left and right, and he's spying and giving information to various demon lords and all sorts of stuff. When you start dealing with demons, it's starting to get tricky and nasty fairly quickly. And then he came across something that was really cool, and that was a little bit of dragon bone that he figured out that it was actually part of the Dragotha Dracolich, or if she's a demi-lich or alive, no one knows, but it's part of the Dragotha bone, the dragon that used to terrorize those areas a few thousand years ago. And so he held on to it and started doing research and figuring out that the red dragon who lives in my Plume Mountain right now, Morgenstaller, that is one of from a Living Greyhawk campaign. And so it is on the hunt for that piece. So he's like, I might be able to sell it very kind of highly, so to speak, to and maybe build an alliance with Morgenstaller. So he's kind of on the fence, not really know what to do, and starting to build this. And Ayus is starting to realize he seems to be useless. He's not working bringing in that much stuff, so to speak. And then the player characters come along and kill him off. And he has a special spell book and like a book with a lot of his secrets and demonology. He's working like Agavol. He's working to become an Agavol. He's only on his way up yet. He's only 1/3 there, so to speak. So he has this book, and he also have the dragon bone because he doesn't dare to part from it. So he has it on him. And then when the characters kill him, they found this, and they don't realize what it is really, more than it's a piece of bone. So we will get to it. So they bury it in the town where they used to be, so to speak, and where they started and took off and leave now. So now that bone is sitting there, and Vakunis' book is somewhere with Vakunis in it, and a lot of things are going to happen from this, so to speak. So that's one of the base stories. And I didn't know how it was going to go. So it's kind of interesting. So now Vakunis is sniffing that thing is there, and Morgenstaller is starting to sniff that piece of Dragotha bone is there somewhere. So he's going to find it. So he's on a mission to find it.
That's cool. Just those kind of and that's a long-term campaign plot line. Antithesis,
yeah, exactly. And I didn't know what it will see. Meaning, if Vakunis would have continued, that would have a different part of the story. And now the players make a roll to see if Morgenstaller finds the Dragotha bone, and if he does, that will quickly elevate him and Dragotha into the story, and maybe even them and all the whole faction into it, so to speak, and or not. So I don't know. That might start next session, or it might be 10 sessions from now. I don't know. It might never happen.
But it's a possibility. Villainmaster Crafters in, everyone. If you did not see the stream Saturday, by the way, that Saturday morning game with the Crafters by far was our highest rated game ever on a Saturday morning. I mean, it was nuts. Thank you so very much. We're like 50 viewer average, higher than any other stream most of the morning. It was crazy. But all that Bill stuff, that new Bill terrain was just so awesome. Wait till you see what he's doing for the fundraiser. You're gonna have to. Yes, Tim already has a sneak peek because Tim's on my side, so I had to tell him. But just some awesome stuff. Yeah. So
nothing to see here.
Yes. So Moose brought up one that I like, and I want to tie this into an adventure you can do this in. Okay. But you don't have to do it with the group he said, because once again, I don't like the group he said. But he said, have the entire town members of the Scarlet Brotherhood. Okay. Now, this is on my Wall of Fame by Janelle Jacquays. One of the best adventures of all time, Dark Tower. Okay. Tim, tell how the beginning of this adventure goes, because I know you remember outside. Yeah.
Well, you can chance upon this little desert town if you've tried to cut through a pass, or you're there on purpose because you've had somebody disappear. But basically, everyone in the town is a couple centuries old, and they drug you in your sleep, and then they capture you and take you to be sacrificed to Set.
Yes. Yes, the
That's
entire
the short version.
the entire town are cultists of Sutek or Set or however you want to. This is
Set.
such it's yeah, and if you want to kill townsfolk, here's your chance. So because they come out, it's like a bad B movie, man. Everyone and it's like in the middle of They Live, but they're not aliens, right? And they just all start turning on you at the last. It's crazy. So that when you brought that up, I immediately thought of Dark Tower. What a great the greatest Judges Guild adventure of all time, in my opinion. So yeah. Very, very cool. I had to bring it up, Moose, when I saw the Scarlet Brotherhood idea, and you can always have cultists running an entire town too. It's a great idea, you know. So, like for example, in Anna's Shieldlands campaign, their group may wander into a town that is all controlled by E's, and they don't even realize it. Yeah, that could happen.
They started in the campaign in a town that was controlled by IU, so they started in the bad spot, so to speak.
Yeah, it's and so there's plenty of those. Don't be hesitant to, gosh, and I'm going off topic a little bit. Don't be hesitant to use gods that are outside the Grail Pantheon if you have a great idea like that, like Dark Tower. I would recommend. I mean, it starts so great, and some others as well. So everyone knows I use some other deities. I remember Ashur came out and goes, "Who the hell's the Red Knight?" Which is funny. The other adventure, I was like, "Who's that?" So I'll steal from Ed Greenwood here and there, and Eric Boyd. I already wrote down Dr. Locke, by the way. He may make an appearance in my Slav Squat game if I remember. Yeah. Oh yeah. But Dale, Prometheus is half and half. Prometheus. Orlane is half and half, right? It's half. The cult hasn't completely taken over the town yet, but it's a good idea. And if you haven't run that in one, I just gave it away. Yeah. Yeah. Where does that Tanner get those exotic skins? They're so soft. Bill, that's just like disturbing, man. He had to come right in, build a Master Crafter, and do something disturbing. So they are mentioned in Planescape. Well, that's good to know that there is a connection. All right. So a couple. While Tim stepped away, Anna, let's go over a couple great antitheses that are published source. How about that? Shall we do that? Okay. And you're going to know some of these, and I've talked about some of these. I won't talk about them for very long, but so Alita Norbalos, Judge Alita from Hardby, second in line for the throne in Hardby. The Despotrix is dying. She works with the slavers for her own abilities, thinking that she can control them. So one of those stupid neutral evil types that thinks, or lawful evils that thinks they can outsmart the other evils in the game. So this is one of my favorites. Everyone knows she was behind the war with Michael Baton, and she won, right? And Michael got his head cut off. It's good. Sometimes there's two levels of bad in that, right, Anna? The Michael Baton, no one likes bad, and the truly evil Alita. So that's a good one. Hardby is a fun. Oh yeah, it's Amy. One of my favorites of all time. Run. She's in the Slavers reference book. The Slavers reference book is filled with them. Here's another one that came to my mind. I think there's a Dragon Magazine article. Let's give Wolfgang Bauer a shout out here.
Yes.
Dora's saying the Ghoul King, right?
Oh
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
5e, Empire of the Ghouls, Cobalt Press, right? Yeah. This goes all the way back to an original. Does anyone remember the dungeon that the original Kingdom of the Ghouls was in? So another one pulled right out of Greyhawk. Glory be, exactly there. But this is a great. This one could be a really great long-term antithesis and from Empire of the Ghouls, which is actually set in Greyhawk originally. And there's a book. It's good. I mean, Cobalt Press does great stuff. So it's worth getting especially if you're a 5e because it's all completely into 5e. It's the one I wanted to get because of the connection to the original Empire of the Ghouls, the Kingdom of the Ghouls. Here we go. This one. Yeah. This is one. There's two, and I didn't bring one up because I bring it up too much. There are adventures you wish you didn't kill off someone permanently. The number one I can think of is Drelsna, right, from Shokanth.
Yeah.
I wish that I had not killed her in that encounter. because what a great character that is, right? And then there's this one, which a lot of people now. Brian actually, my buddy Brian actually used this one as an entire plot setting in his game near Saltmarsh, and that's Sakatha, right, from Tomb of the Lizard King. So yeah, don't even say Thrommel there, Dewey. Oh, and if someone had to go there with the Thrommel thing, I have to stay away from Thrommel. So a great one, Sakatha, out of Tomb of the Lizard King. A really a good one. A Calavra too,
Yep.
Amy. I always use a Calavra, but she's too high level in my opinion. She has to be behind the scenes now, right? There's a Calavra because she's just too powerful.
You don't want to risk. You want to risk them to put them up front. Maybe in the beginning you can when they're, but
Yeah.
then you have to be, because they are wary of where they're like royalty
Yeah, with Tim.
and celebrities, meaning they or heads of states or whatever. They don't take risks
Tim said it
that
weird.
much, so to speak. They're
Family
kind of
thing.
yeah, and also one of the other things, I think a campaign needs, in my opinion, to have more than two dimensions. It should just not be like an evil side and a good side and they fight each other and you kind of know. There should be some twists, and especially among evils, there is usually
Thank you, Patrick.
strife and competition and outright disloyalty and enmity, and they're kind of enemies, and they will stab each other in the back in a heartbeat, so to speak. Especially the chaotic evils, is about they only accept someone as long as they're useful, and if they're not useful, they will be hunted down, killed off in secret, or just disposed of in some other way, so to speak. And that means that makes both opportunities and pitfalls and hazards for the characters and the party. And I think a good campaign should have more than two sides to it, so to speak.
Absolutely. You gotta have different, like, it's not a faction discussion tonight, but you gotta have those levels of gray.
Yeah.
Black and white is really, it's cool, but it's like this all the time, and that can get a little tedious.
Mhm.
That's why I like the Prince. The Prince is like, in my game, Prince of York's like that wild card.
Mhm.
You don't know what
Yep.
he's going to do. Is he going to try to annex one of the Order of Yuluk keeps on the border? Who knows?
Yep,
It's always there. So
and also they should be motivated by different types of motifs.
Yeah,
Some of them are
absolutely.
ideologues or just after raw power. Some of them are just greedy, or some of them are just scared and want to fend off and isolate themselves from everybody. If you just disturb them, they go crazy, or something like that. And so there should be a multitude of motivation, and they could be different motivations and fears and towards various others, so to speak. So there should be who they like, who they dislike, who they hate, who they love, so to speak. It should be some of them are motivated by feelings. Other are much more motivated by logical motifs, like who's really against them before them, and some of them plot and spin weaves of action and plan ahead and so on and so forth. Others, they shoot from the seat of the pants and go by gut feeling. If they don't like the feel or the look of something, they will strike immediately. And others, they will really dwell in the background and then strike when they feel that, when they can see and know that things are right.
Yeah, so Obsidian just put inbred royalty are always unpredictable.
Yes.
Well, you go to the Great Kingdom and see what happens. Yeah, exactly.
And then you have another interesting motif. You have blood relatives that are forced to be loyal to each other and are loyal simply due to blood and relationship. And in my Devon campaign, I had Prince Carvin, who was a good guy, and Karn, that was his younger sibling in the family, who was a good paladin. But then they had an older uncle that was a vampire that sat in Black Splinter, and he was like 2 generations ago and been around for like 100 some years, but he was part of the family and he defended the family and the Carvin hold of Devon. But he was an evil bastard of a vampire, but he was accepted because he was part of family and it's been around for a long time, and they agreed on the fact that the Carvin should still rule Devon.
The level of Ividian dying detail is so awesome, and very few that I've seen have delved into a hardcore campaign there, which
Yeah,
I mean, I guarantee. Listen, I think that if someone streamed a really good Great Kingdom or surrounding areas game, you know, I think it would be a home run, a complete and utter home run, and for
yeah, it
live
is
streaming.
cool because it's again
Yeah.
kind of Game of Thrones like environment. It's a lot of backstabbing. There's intricate power thingies and relationships and histories and God knows what in a web of intrigue that gone hundreds of years. And so it's kind of, yeah, it's a real cool area that way.
Yeah, Dewey, I'm not saying specifically on my channel. I'm saying if someone were to get together a group and run an in-depth campaign, I think that would be a home run. Because you know, I'm at my limits of not getting divorced here with all the stuff I do. So, right, Anna. But here's another. So, Rary the Trader, right now, this is a high level, but there's a whole reference guide for Rary, and we never touched it, never went there, but he's sitting out there in the bright desert. So hey, it would be it's another good one for if you want higher level characters to go up and do something, because then you can always bring in, you know, even though he's kind of undone in expeditions, but you don't have to have it. It's a small pick though. You can always bring in Rubbler as well. So you got two nice high level published source characters you can use in that campaign. So Rally the Trader, it's a nice one. Everything okay, Tim?
Yeah.
Here's another one I use. So this one's from the Star Cairns, and she makes appearances multiple times in different forms. This is the Necromancer Yellick. So as you can see, she's got a limp. Her left arm is lamed. Right. I just recently used her, but she was a guy this time. They cloned her, and she turned out to be a male this time. So there's a coven of necromancers up in the hills past the high pass. It's actually published source. Oh, by the way, we'll be talking about all this on Wednesday's Legends and Lore, right, Anna?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot that.
That's
what I forgot that shout out. Yeah, I got a banner, but I don't have a specific shout out for it. Yeah. So if you go to this map here, and I'll show you. This is published source that I've developed, and we come over here. All right. High pass up here. There's a coven of necromancers in this area causing trouble. And I have her as one of them. Well, they clone her over and over again. They have clones of this one, and she's out causing the most mayhem. So they don't have to do it themselves. So yeah, she shows up a lot of times working with undead in that whole area that we have in my game in the Harby area. And there's another edit, the Gravemore, another edit for Mana in mine. I'm sorry, Anna. What were you going to say there? I apologize.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just note that you can take published source references that may not seem to be anything like this Necromancer in the Star Cairns and move her right into your campaign. Oh, you were standing and now you're sitting.
Yep.
I didn't realize you were standing all that time. Wow, that's cool. Hey, Megan.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea to sit down now so we can see Minnie. Yep.
Yeah. So that'll be that's another idea, is to take a small published source, little tidbit, and move it into something a little bit bigger and
yeah,
and
often
nastier.
is that little extra little paragraph of stuff that you can build into something big and kind of run with it, because that's where a lot of the maneuvering room for you if you want to add to existing sources and not contradict them, then it's the footnotes you should look, so to speak.
So Tim, we were just talking about while you were going, we were talking about published source Antithesis. So yes, Ron, a lot of times the big bad just needs to stay Oz behind the curtain. That is true. Like Rary, I would say, or a Clavdra would say, or a Miracle the Chaotic if you use him, or Marquesa, unless you're running the Marquesa adventures from that Carlos has done. That is always or some of the high level slavers. I can pop that up here, like the slavers, the leaders of the slavers. That would be another good one. His desert, absolutely.
I have 5 Antithesis, but that's only one of them is published for the barbarians.
Really? Okay. Well, I probably don't have pictures of any of them, but let's. You know what?
Well, one is IUs, obviously.
Well, yes, I do have an IUs picture. So now I got to flip it all back. First off, let's go up here as Anna and I were talking. Let's go up here to Tim's campaign area. Oh, I'm like, where am I?
Way up north.
Where am I? Oh man, I'm losing my mind here. Here we go. Right in this area here. Am I close? Rovers.
I don't see it.
We don't see. You haven't. showed the map.
Shay! I'm not an
Yep.
animal.
There you go. Now we can. Yep.
Yeah, I'm close, right? Are you in the woods, the hills?
Well,
Here's the wood.
No, go out further. Come out further. Out further. We're right near the R
In Barrens?
in Rovers.
Oh,
Hang on a
wow, you're
second.
way up there.
I need to put Split Rock on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Split Rock's got to go in there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
I
I've
wanted
been
to- it's
I've done a
gotta be
lot of
far-
other things tonight.
It's got to be far enough away from all those mercenary camps that are down to the southwest.
Ah.
Yeah, they had to go further north.
I've
It's
eyes.
at the R in Rovers.
Yeah,
Ayu's
Okay.
it's just to the just slightly to the west of that.
Okay, perfect. I'll put it in the list here.
Nice. Tim's getting a spot, a place on Anna's map. 576. Definitely. Map and
Split Rock.
Yeah, very cool. Which R? The big R. Right, the big R?
Yeah,
The big R.
to the west of
Oh, yeah,
it.
that's right, Patrick. You're all in that game, so. Oh, yeah, so Tim's run his a lot there, usually on Saturday mornings, once every couple months there, Josh. Yeah, there was just one a couple Saturdays ago, so.
So, do you want to hear the antithesis?
Please, yes.
Yes.
Who?
That was the plural of
Oh,
antithesis.
yep.
Es instead of is. Mongrels of the defiled flesh.
But that's not fun, man. Because wait. That's fun, but it's not these mongrels. Oh, I'm upset.
It's not
the mongrels of the putrid tongue.
It's the defiled flesh.
The mongrels of the
These are-
defiled flesh.
These are the ones that peel off to their excoriators, or commonly
so sorry
referred to as
for all you.
hook peelers,
Oh, God.
and they scrape off big chunks of flesh.
Which character
they
had that
tag
happen
you.
to him?
Yeah, there's a character there who's been
Is it
tagged,
Wills?
and then they throw it's Howls in the Grass from the Dark Hand.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Whose character's
And
that?
so he actually has a strength penalty because it removes muscle tissue as well when they
gosh,
scrape
Tim.
that off. And then hey, he's really mad at him. He's got a good reason to get after it. They also are aided by a subset of mongrels called Mongrels of the Depraved Knowing. And the Mongrels of the Depraved Knowing are the spellcaster mongrels. And they've perfected a spell called Animate Flesh. It's for only a first level spell. So they'll cast Preserve on something on a trophy, and then they'll cast Animate Flesh so that it can move.
Like the tongues and whatever else.
Like the tongues on the shields, yes. Yes. And they'll hang those tags of flesh onto things, and then they'll move. They'll move like they're waving in the wind, but they're just waving.
Oh my gosh.
Now that's one antithesis. The other one is the Agavol, which are the blood drinkers. That's the evil tribes that sided with them. And so they're a big contrast to the Pelu, which are the obviously nicer ones. There's also some competing tribes which are contrasting. That they're like Flan, but they have some social differences that make them a contrast to the Pelu. The Pelu, they don't murder each other. They don't kill each other. They have other ways.
Like where the two, right? Like there was that war going on between the two tribes.
Yes, there's other tribes that are the Agavol are there. It's a blood feud. They're going to kill them. The other ones, there's competitions. They're competing for resources. They don't get along. They have, so there's those. And then the last one, which is unseen but only mentioned in the first or second Dark Hand, was the Mother. Hail the Mother. And the ogres refer to that one as the Great Maw.
But that's good because
Hail the Mother.
Tim's things are long term. He always goes for the long term plot. Always. It's that long term, you're going to regret it plot line. So, yeah.
Yep.
So, Red Fist was a grand nephew of Ea's. I think that's Gitano starting trouble there. But see, here's the good thing is that now Gitano's talking about the campaign in chat, right? And that's what's cool. And that's when you know that as a DM, you got your players' attention when they start making jokes about the campaign, that's a real cool thing to have Gitano. So Anna, tell us, come on, tell us about a Shieldlands, some kind of antithesis you have right now going on in your Shieldlands game. Small, big.
I have a guy called Udard. He is
Okay.
yeah, Udard. He is a Flan. He grew up in Molag, and he is a 13th, I think 13 or 14th level fighter. So he's a damn good. He grew up in Molag like 30 years ago, so before the Greyhawk wars, so to speak. So he's like in his mid 30s now after the wars, so late 30s maybe. So he grew up in Molag and during the height of the hierarchy, so to speak, and he was just an urchin there basically, and he showed promise, and he was taken in to become a henchman of the hierarchs. And he then first came the campaigns in Bandit Kingdoms, and he showed his usefulness, and he became he was one of these that ran and ran a kind of a battalion or a group of thugs behind enemy lines, and he was very useful, very effective, so to speak. So he's kind of a sneaky fighter type, so to speak. So he has a little bit of rogue in him. He can sneak attack and stuff like that. But then he, as he grew up and became more powerful, he became more and more fighter of him, so to speak. So he's a brutal, effective fighter, and he's a good leader. He has real intimidation, but he also knows loyalty. So he realized that he needed others to survive. So he kind of grew a band of friends that he trusts and that trusts him, that he gives good, so to speak. So he's not greedy. In the beginning, he was just a survivalist and full of hate. And once after a few years, he got that out of him. He started to see what should become of me, and he wanted to see, and then that way he realized that when the major war came out and Iusians took over the area, and he realized this is literally going down the drain. So that when he but he was high level, so when the hierarchs executed their escape plan, so to speak, plan B in my campaign, that's when he made sure that he was on that plan, and he had to relocate to Greyhawk to defend some of the hierarchs' hidden interests there, and he became basically a bodyguard and a mercenary to be sent. And then he could see for the first time see real civilization and stuff. And then his assignment now is to be the head henchman of the Baron of Export. He is the go-to guy that makes sure that the Baron of Export survives and thrives. And if there's any enemy coming, he can vet people coming, and he can also chop the head off the other ones. And he is brutal enough that he knows which Iusian priests to talk to and which Iusian priests to kill. And he's kind of an interesting breed that way, because he is I have him as neutral evil, but he's not really overly evil, so to speak. He wants to survive the long run. He has killed way too many people because he doesn't kill for the pleasure of killing, but he also wants the world to be a better place, but he doesn't have a good heart yet, so to speak. So he can become something good, so to speak. And he also realized that he's willing to work with anybody, including Asmodeus or Ius himself, if he thinks that could make the world a better place for him.
Opportunist.
So
yeah,
you're saying that
yeah,
to make the world a better place, there's some people that just need some killing.
Exactly. Yeah, there's always some more people that needs to be killed, but now he feels more like it's a daily horrible grind to go through, so to speak. So he doesn't look forward to it. He doesn't do it out of spite, but he's doing it out of necessity, and he wants to build a stable. He's more like a reality statesman who realized that this is getting it bloody, but eventually that might be a functional thing. He doesn't have any kids because he doesn't believe in it, but he sees that others have kids, and maybe there should be a future for mankind and so on. And he's starting to be a little bit altruistic deep down, so to speak. And that is starting to show. He realized he's going to be old and decrepit and fail and not be powerful anymore. So he's starting to plan for that a little bit. He's starting to think of it. And so he's slowly starting to realize that there are others to cooperate with. And that means that he opens up alliances, and he is now this kind of go-to in-between kind of mercenary whatever type. And it's interesting to see where he will go, because that depends to a large degree on how the players will treat him. which side he goes on, so to speak. So that is one of the villain useful and major NPCs in my campaign that I invented.
Nice.
Basically. Yeah, I took
Oh,
him. Yeah.
yep.
He's
I
not
spotted him out
invented
and lurking in chat, and he replied. So there
Oh,
you go,
hello.
Mel. It's good to see you, Dennis.
Yep.
Dennis sent me a titillating Discord message the other day, and I'm intrigued. That's all I'll say.
Okay, cool.
Which is awesome. Yeah, good to see you, man.
Yep.
We need you on more streams. I know, man. You are a wealth of unbelievable stuff. You have evil plans. Well, that'll
Yep.
fit in perfectly.
Yep.
Absolutely perfectly.
Every campaign needs evil
every
plans,
campaign
so,
needs one. So,
Yep.
all right, Tim, tell us about your other campaign, the City State of Invincible Overlord, and a couple of your antithesis that drive me crazy when I play. How's that? Because we haven't.
I've talked about him before, but I'll talk about
a couple.
Lord Gru.
Yes.
Which I recommend doing this if you have a group to play with. Have them make up evil characters, right? And then play them just one time, one shot, and then take them, age them 200 years, or age them however many years you want, and then make them the bad guys. And so Lord Gru was Jay's character.
Yes.
Oh.
An anti-paladin, cavalier anti-paladin. And so now it's wonderful making him the antithesis. Mm-hmm. So, and he's baited him a couple times. There's some outright, he's evil and not in the I'm just going to ride up and kill everyone way. He's in the landscape of the city state. So he's amongst the politics and amongst all the other factors. So
such a great idea.
Yeah. So that's been very fun.
Yep.
The Overlord is also.
Yes, and that, absolutely. When he killed his own half brother or whatever, that one adventure, we're in there waiting for our titles. I gotta. All right,
we
now
gotta
what
take
were we
care
doing?
of the old business first.
Oh my God, that was so disturbing.
Had his half brother killed because he said, "Don't go near their harem," and he didn't listen.
Oh, that's so. Because then you know who's in charge. Right off the bat, you set an example that you may have gotten your titles after 30 years of playing in this campaign of nobility status that you've dug out, but I'm still in charge. I'm giving this to you.
Don't forget who the boss is.
Exactly.
And he appreciates the fact that you guys pay your taxes on time.
Absolutely. Because you always want to pay taxes on time.
Yes. Don't shortchange the Overlord.
Yeah. You also have the is this public? Are the Orcs of the Purple Claw published source out of that?
Orcs of the Purple. Yeah. Orcs of the Purple Claw are in Dirthwood, right by the city state in the Wilderlands.
Okay.
So
yeah.
And they are there's more of a mystery. You don't really see them that often.
Right. They're kind of deep into the forest.
Right.
So
there was a big uprising.
Yeah.
There was, years, decades ago in the game, a big uprising, and there was a big giant fight. That's why one of the bridges out of the city state is burned down, because it was a big whole fight. Some last standing went on the other side of the bridge, and the unit got totally massacred in that last one. But the Orcs did lose, and they retreated back, and the queen, the evil queen they had, was killed, and her daughter is in charge now.
Nice. So I want to get back to, we haven't played that in a while. I want to get back to a session for that. Definitely. I love playing it's good to play once in a blue moon, even as a DM, and play outside of Greyhawk or play in our campaign setting. It's awesome. And if you didn't see, I kind of said, yes, I'm going to play in Alyssa Faden's Cthulhu game at GaryCon.
I saw that.
Yeah. Oh boy. That'll be exciting.
That's fun.
Exciting. Yeah.
I have a Cthulhu character, Father Fergus Phileas McPherson.
Yes.
He was a chaplain in the Boer War. And so it's like early 1900s.
Oh, in South Africa. Yeah.
Well, he was. That's his background.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
I will, Balfrin. I will let it happen. I'm trying to think of a couple others here. Well, there's plenty. There's plenty. Sendar the Quiet was one of my favorites of all time.
Oh yes.
Yeah, yeah. Sendar the Quiet. He was a lich who just had. There was no sound when you went into his lands. No sounds, no birds, nothing. Nothing. It was deadly
Yeah, it was
quiet.
quite dead.
Yeah.
Yes, he was, and that was the one where
Marco did one.
Mar-
So yeah, you got to appreciate this. So I think I said this once before. Judge Porthos is a good one. Bill, when we get back to Greyhawk, I'll talk about that one. So Marco was good for once in a blue moon, crazy, funny things. So his character Pinole couldn't stand this guy, so he teleported into his lands, cast a shout spell, real loud, and then left. Just to piss the guy out. Off. And I was like, that's brilliant for Sendar the Quiet. Yeah, so
kind of giving him the audio middle finger.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Very, very. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that really throws in to an antithesis. Yeah, poke the bear a little bit. So, yeah, that was fun.
Right, and that's the land that Ulrich was titled actually. So he's kind of like,
too much undead running around here.
Yeah, he's like, I might need help clearing that one.
Yeah, but definitely, it's good to have a secondary. And like I said, Tim's games, it's a lot of fun, and I love streaming that too. So, Greyhawk City has a ton of antitheses, right? And Bill, the Master Crafter, brings up one in chat. So, by the way, all right, let's. I want to see yeses or nos in votes. All right, is everyone known that some of our players are changing their names in Twitch so that you can know who they are? Like Tom finally switched his name to Tom the Vindicator, his favorite character, right? I'm trying to get Bill to change his name from Sashar Scored to Bill the Master Crafter, but he won't do it. He says it's too pretentious. I said, I don't care.
How about Bill the Crafter? How about that?
Well, that's what he wanted to do. But then Christine Van Patten's husband, Kyle, said, I like Bill the Master Crafter.
Yeah, that's great. It's just I'm not that mysterious. You call me that.
You are mysterious.
Yeah, we know
you're still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because you can every so many times. I can't make the change, but a lot of people could. So Master Blaster, that's it. Yeah. See, Amy likes it too. There, Bill. You should just change it.
Yeah, it's great.
Let's just change it. It's not like you're. If you're streaming, it's one thing, but you can changing your name in Twitch is not a big deal if you're not streaming. So, Tim's the deed of mystery to all of us. See, perfect. So Bill the Master Crafter brings up Judge Porthos, which is from an adventure where the judge is underhanded and as needs assistance, and then when you give him the assistance, then he turns on you. So which is a neat one. I don't even remember the event. See, look, Josh, I'm not all memory knowing. I don't remember what adventure it was, but it's in our lists. And we did it with the Grey Company. So there's a ton of these characters in the Free City Greyhawk box set and From the Ashes. Tons of these antitheses characters that you can use. You can use like the Street Urchin. You can use her. There's 3 stage characters in those books that you can utilize. The Thief Wars that's going on in the River and Foreign Quarters. There's plenty of antitheses in Greyhawk City box set, and that's why it's the best reference box set, best reference guide of all time, in my opinion. So people can change names in Discord on a per server basis. Now, Twitch, it's every 60 or 90 days, Mac, and it has to be not used. Every name on Twitch has to be unique. I couldn't do it. There's no way at this point. Tim could do it, and Anna shouldn't do it because Anna's known as Anna's B. Meyer. But Bill could do it easily. So yeah, Miss Leia or Loma Streetwise. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Amy. Definitely. Except my brain's not all there today. And there's plenty of these in these city settings. Harby, Greyhawk, to utilize there. So, Anna. How about something you think of, another antithesis that you like, or that you an organization?
I was thinking I want to now. I for this campaign I've dug into the shield lands and there I've looked into meaning the Knights of the Holy Shielding, those the IRD settlers that took it, and the Flans that were there before. But I was thinking I want to run an Elven campaign. I want to run a campaign set in the North Kingdom or like the northern part of former Grey Kingdom. But I was thinking an Elven campaign would. I haven't run anything Elven in decades now, so I really want to do maybe do a Vespi campaign. So I'm thinking what kind of factions and what kind of fun, interesting stuff to dive deep into. Or Adri is another one that is kind of cool.
That's where Anna. That's where I would do it. I mean, because I'm so interested in this in bitterness.
Yeah, in a
the
way,
whole-
you can run an Elven campaign that you start in Vespi, and then you can end up in that area.
Prince
or
Murrel's
for some
Hold
reason.
too.
That's meaning this area is such a target-rich environment for adventurers that it's kind of crazy. So that is one. And now, and the reason I'm interested in this area so much is that Gary Julian and others have now, Asher the Bear and stuff have talked about Great Kingdom and Gary Julian's Death Knights and stuff. I'm so intrigued. I was intrigued already 10 years ago, but now I know 4 times as much. So this is an area I definitely want to go in and run a future of the Death Knights kind of campaign. And I call the North Kingdom now is the Empire of Aird. They want to make pompous names because if you don't have the political bite, at least you can try and use some soft power in elevating your. They both the United Kingdom of Alyssa and the North Kingdom are striving to be the successor of the Great Kingdom, and Niron has put the hat in the ring. So they all trying to up their diplomatic political game by have pompous names and stuff. So Empire of Aird, and they use a red shield of that is the Great Kingdom shield, but with the nail X red in it. So
nice.
Speak, instead of the blue. That's their shield. And the United Kingdom of Alyssa, Sevener, he thought down in Karlstrand that he had it bagged, that he would be the successor, and he called himself Overking, and he thought that he'd be. But now the North Kingdom is coming up, and there's some interesting alliances and stuff being made. And Grinnell is getting old, and he realized that he will not live that long as a mortal being. So you can tell he's now a good servant, master servant of Hextor, and they're meaning the hell itself. And he's not going to let that will be beneficial to him, so to speak. So he's going to use the maximum perks he can get out of it, and then he will start ruling the Empire of Aird with brutal hand. And he's also going to make use of the diplomatic, military, and other resources he can gather. And there is at least 2 or 3 Death Knights within his grasp and reach, and he's going to either get them in and do his bidding, or he's going to annihilate them. And that will be the first part of the campaign, to see which one he will recruit and which ones he will kill. And
you work for me or nobody.
Exactly. And that will be interesting because the party can actually sway it. They can go in and try and kill a few of these, because I don't want to start 0 level here. I want to start 10th level or something
and this would make sense. So
yeah. So I might run a pre-campaign, but when the actions start, I want the characters to be around 10th level, 12th or something. And they can get a mission to go in and find these Death Knights and deal with them before the Grinnell is getting to them, so to speak. But on the other hand, Grinnell might have gotten to them before, and they might work for him, and that might complicate things. We'll see. That will be the first step of the campaign. Second stage will be when Grinnell has and the North Kingdom of Aird or Empire of Aird have gathered those resources, what they will do with them, what kind of political military campaign is he going to set off. If he has the Lord Defar and maybe 5 other Death Knights on his side, or 6 or something like that, then he will go on a campaign somewhere. Which will be his first enemy? Nyrond, Karlstrand, will he take Sea of Medigia and Relastra, or whatever, so to speak? We'll see. And go for it, so to speak. And then the party might have to go there and warn and tell these poor people that live down there that hell is literally coming, and see if they can do it. Or would they just sit by and pick up the pillage, the leftovers? I don't know. We'll see.
Bill changed his name, Anna. Bill the Master. Yes, there you go. Bill the Master Crafter. Is as big as he. Yes, there you go.
That's awesome.
Nice.
There you go.
Yep. So, and I'm babbling about my future.
No, this is great. No, Anna, this is great. So Tim has to go. So
I have to run.
But when you get in closing, you want to say anything about the discussion, Tim?
Oh well, I love to come up with antithesis and foils to the party. So
yeah.
I'll keep a running total so I can discuss again next time this comes around. This similar topic comes around.
Cool.
Well, and we'll always
Yeah.
have these great topics. And Tim, I really appreciate you hopping in here. And I know you got some things you got to do there family wise. And thank you
Yep.
so very much for coming in.
Thank you,
And we'll
Anna.
see
Great
you
Yeah,
seeing
during
good
you.
to see you.
Have
See
a
you
good one,
guys
man.
later.
All right, sounds good. Oh, thanks, Amy. Thank you for that cheer. Yeah, Tim is, so yeah, we may see Dr. Locke that Tim made up from scratch very, very quickly here. That was really kind of you, Amy. Thank you
Yeah.
on that. So, look at that, Tim. People like it. Bill the Master Crafter.
Oh,
Bill,
that's awesome.
that's
Yeah.
very good that you got that there. And yeah, he's gonna have to change it. It's Sashar Scorn still on Instagram. I'm not sure how you change on Instagram, but you should be able to too.
Yeah,
you know.
Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good because that's the one he
Yeah.
uses mostly. If people use the
Mhm.
camel case for Twitch names software, it reads stuff for partially sighted people. Will read it quickly. I don't know what that means, Mac. I'm sorry. Camel case for Twitch names. The software that reads stuff for partially sighted people will read it quickly. I'm sorry, I don't know what that
Oh,
means.
okay. No, me neither.
Yeah, my bad, man.
I'll just have open the door.
Yeah, no problem. So, as we continue with this discussion, we'll go for another like 15 minutes, and then we'll do giveaways and do some really cool shout outs. Get us to a hype train, any kind of hype train, and I will double the giveaway. So, how's that sound? All right? Get us to any type of hype train, and I will double it from just this to we got 1,000 cheer out there. It'll be pretty easy. I'm going to add the big one. You want an antithesis? There you go. Ravenloft
there
and
you
the
go.
Fiend Folio reprint together. All right? That's what I'll add. So, there. Easy enough. All right. If we get to
Thank
that.
you, Morpheus. Yeah, Minnie
Yep.
is cute.
Definitely. Hey, Dr. Faust, good to see you. So with this, the antithesis, Anna, don't be like shy or worried about that one sucked, right? And they killed him off. All right, so what? It's not a big deal, Create another one, create one that there's that. Thanks everyone. There you go. So there we go. We got our level 1. We're doubling it so that we do both these. So awesome. You're fantastic, everyone. I'll cover some shipping there. Don't worry about it. It's trial and error. Trust me. I've made some crappy character NPCs up.
Oh yeah,
We
but
all have.
you should have some bad ones so that the characters have something to get rid of and kill off quickly.
Yeah, you need those.
Yeah.
And that's a great point.
Yeah, you need to have them, and you also need to have the one that are that good, so to speak. There should not always be the super smart master villain. There should be the idiot who just got lucky once before and became someone, so to speak. And then you can also have the other kind of cool trick. You can have that the villain they know about, the ruler of the barony or the greedy, super greedy evil merchant or whatever. He is the one that is set there by someone else, and he's kind of a hapless character that is set. His role is to be the brute that everybody's supposed to hate. That is his job, but he might be an idiot and don't know much. And so not all villains should be hard to kill or difficult to get at. Some of them should be so in your face that the players should have an easy way of disposing of some of them, so to speak. So they should cover the whole range of easy killings to almost impossible to even know that they're that is a good campaign, so to speak. And there should always be the ones that could be bought, convinced, fooled into not being a villain, so to speak, bribed and so on. Meaning the corrupt ones, regardless of the evil, if they're really corrupt, give them something real tasty or juicy enough money-wise, whatever it is, then they will work for you and not against you, and so on. So they should span use the 7 deadly sins. So
exactly.
That is one you can look at. Meaning, which of these are the villain kind of gluttony, greed, or whatever it is, so to speak. So
what I like to do is, and I've done for 40 years, is take I have one head leader of the Dark Brotherhood, and it goes all the way back, and they have all these minions and captains, and they're all mostly idiots. Let's be bluntly honest. They're all worried about personal power. They're all worried about, you know, they're not thinking about the greater goal that this organization has, and they fail a lot. And that angers the head antithesis. And that's the way to do it, because you're not worried about killing those guys off. You know, now one of them may rise up and maybe attempt to overthrow the current leader, but maybe not. You know, and that's a way around it.
And also some villains, they only recruit people that are dumber than themselves because they don't want to have any competition. They not allow any competition. Meaning if you are even anywhere near as smart as they are, then they don't like you. They don't trust you. So they only recruit downwards from their own abilities.
That's so true with evil characters.
Yeah, but not all of them, because some of them are maybe lawful evil or something, and they might be the ones that know. And that's how I have Udard, for instance. He has nurtured his henchmen for decades. And he trusts them and so on, and they have a close relationship, so to speak. And that is another one, meaning there might be family ties, that might be the ties, a mercenary company led by an evil master, like Lord Mustrin, for instance.
Or Lord Present.
Exactly, or Lord Present. They might be.
How to do that one?
Yeah, they take care of their henchmen. They know that loyalty doesn't come automatically; it works downwards rather than upwards. They take care of their underlings and their henchmen. If you work for them, your boss will be there for you, even if he's evil, because he hates everybody else. So you, and it should span that, or they might be bosses that kind of likes you one day and hate you, want to kill you the next. You don't know.
Especially with chaotics. I mean, you never know.
In a chaotic neutral, it might be whatever he feels like at the moment, or something.
Sometimes, like my chaotics, I love a little chaos versus law fight here and there. And what I mean by that is that if you know, and this is one thing we're going to discuss this Wednesday. I don't have once again, I have a banner for it, but we're going to talk about, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But one thing I think Sargent did good was he made a rivalry between Foltest and Tritherion, which I don't think existed before. So you have lawful neutral against chaotic good. Right, and I love that. I love that was done. That rivalry there. So
I added the rivalry between Palor and Foltest.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, because and it was simply because I saw Palor as the Flan version of Foltest, and then when Grey Kingdom fell apart and the Foltians in Pale and others started to be more evil than good, then Palor became much more common, and the common people in a lot of realms started to see Palor as the go-to god rather than Foltest. Foltest was that rigid ruler, so to speak, that the bureaucracy and a lot of others, and he was tied to the Grey Kingdom and the Erde, but Palor had a much older history and was also strong in Veluna and the Western Erde lands. So they have shifted the whole paradigm, and also Tritherion has become strong, since they are using invasion and stuff. Tritherion had as a god that the rulers didn't trust, even the good ones, because he was an instigator and rebellious, and his priesthood and others went for freedom from everybody and everything, the extreme ones, so to speak. And now with using invasion and stuff, Tritherion had got a much new role, so to speak, that it's much different.
Let's see if I can bring this up. So I don't know if Bill's still there. He may have had to go build a master crafter. So he came to me with an idea about Tritherion. I want to share this with everyone. Let me see if I can get this up here real quick. This is on the spur of the moment. I was like, I have it in my hand, but I'd rather have a hard copy showing for you.
Yeah.
So Bill said, we're going to continue our Narwhal low levels. We're going to add 2 to each of it, so we have a pool of characters like we always do in all cities. So we're going to add 2 player characters to each for the headhunters. And he came to me with an idea. Let me find it. I know I have it on my machine here. Dragon 290. They're just all over the place. Okay. All right, here it comes. So he says that there's a Tritherion, and he thinks it was. I'm going to back convert this prestige class. All right, let me pop this up. All right, it's in this dragon. Oh, I think we got to go all the way to page 92. This is Dragon 297. There's a lot of good stuff in this. So let's see how far we can go. So it's really funny, some of the articles in here. I think I passed it already. See, you can't see page numbers on this. Look, you can't see the number. Oh, there's 102. All right, we're close. Here we go. It should be right here. Here we are. I'll make this a little smaller. All right. Champions of Vengeance. Knights of the Chase. This is by Creighton Broadhurst. So, the Greyhawk Wars rage across the Flannis, and so what this is a knighthood. I loosely grouped. Now I have my knight class, where I have Knights of Yolk, Knights of the Heart, and Knights of the Holy Shielding as subclasses. So for this game, I think I'm going to make these Knights of the Chase up.
What is that dragon number?
297.
Okay.
There's a lot of good stuff in here, yeah. So this is actually a specific Tritherian knighthood that Creighton made up, and that I, as far as I imagine chaotic good here. So to qualify for a knight of chase, chaotic good, but I'll back for just the 1E like I always do, because I have a knight class already. So I'm gonna make a 4th knight class, the Knights of the Chase, based off of this article. And this is gonna further increase the antithesis and the frustration, because these people Knights of the Chase sound like they're pretty fanatical as far as chaotic goods go, as we were talking about, and that is something that I want to. And a lot of the Narwhal headhunters are chaotic good, so I was so glad he brought this up, because I haven't added. This is all. It's going to be an entire class unto itself, but it's in the knight class category that I have. So just note that this was discussed, and this was a 3rd edition prestige class, and I'm going to undo it back. And there's some characters here: notable Knights of the Chase. As you see, Cleric 8, Fighter 3, Knight 5. It's just going to be one class for me, and we'll back convert it. But I was like, nice. Some more Tritherian against everyone else. And look, there's Living Grail campaign news in here. So there you go. So just wanted to share this with everyone, and thank you for that level 2 hype train. That is awesome, and we got the 2 giveaways now tonight. And thank you as the numbers keep on growing this evening. I really appreciate it. So there you go, Anna. Something to chew on there a little bit for Tritherian. Yeah, I will make that up. And once again, I have, like I said, I have the Knight of Yolk class, the Knight of Holy Shielding class, and the Knight of the Heart class, and I will make the Knight of the Chase class up. That'll be the 4th one, and that'll be cool.
What's it, 296 you said?
97. 297.
297.
Yep. And then when I saw it was by Creighton Broadhurst, I immediately knew it was going to be quality. So just to note that. So
cool.
Yeah, something new. Always another thing as a DM. Always take I've said this 100 times, players' suggestions and run with them. Hey, I'd like to do this idea. Okay, let's figure out what we can do.
Yeah, and often it's when they come up with fears that the campaign might go this way, and what if it's that bad, and something like that. Use those things, but don't use them right away.
Right.
Write them down and use them when the time is right, so to speak, when the players forgot that they even mentioned it.
And my players will forget, and then they'll go, after it finally comes back to them, after the light bulb goes on 10 minutes late, that happens.
Yeah,
that happens. So, so any questions from the audience about this discussion tonight, or comments, or Bill? So there you go. You said yes. I read this while I was watching football today, and I was like, I can do this, no problem. This fits perfectly in. Because I was looking for Sessio's Court in chat and I couldn't find it, and I was like, oh, there he is. So very nicely done there, having your new name up there in chat. So all right, well, it seems like we're questionless here, which is actually a good thing. Oh, well, nice. It's good to hear that it's nice there in the lovely lands of Hawaii, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very cool. As we're just talking about the antithesis tonight, which is always a fun conversation to have, and how to create them. 13th age gets players to pick icons. Interesting. So here's what I've learned, Mac, and talk about character creation. I used to randomize height, weight, all that stuff, and I don't anymore at all. And I don't and characteristics. I like them to come to me with, here's my idea behind this character. He's middle aged, and he did an adventure his first 30 years, and then something tragic happened. I want them to come up with those ideas. So I stay away from completely characteristic choice now, and I let them choose it. But I want them to be creative in it, and it's really good. I mean, we have I don't know how many. Alan's got 70 PCs, and Bill's got 66 to 70 PCs, I just each one is completely different. And that's their brother and sister and stuff like that. Yeah, thanks, Vamp, and that's it, man. That's what we're here for. We're here to share this knowledge, and that was all part of streaming 3.5 years ago, right, Anna? Starting it off was to want to share what we've done for at that time 38 years, was to share it, and we got some other wonderful things to discuss tonight. But note that you're never going to do everything as a DM 100% correctly either. So if you make a mistake and an antithesis you made was a bust, or you got killed off, or really you thought wasn't to your liking, make a change and get another one. So yeah, that's it, man. Make suggestions. And do you make villains or area specific based, or their country of origin, based on their country of origin?
Oh yeah, they're very
good question.
They're very, yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, my villains are very grounded both in where they come from, so to speak. Some of them are very local, meaning it could be like anything from a village fool to someone who is running a village, or some, but some of them are way more kind of even at low level. I had a peddler that now I forgot the first name of it, but he was the peddler that walked between and had a little wagon and a donkey, and he traveled around between villages and sold stuff and bought stuff and had some news and stuff. So he was kind of a little bit more regional little guy, so to speak, and so NPCs come from very hyper local, meaning you can have an undead who just sits and guards the door and doesn't move, sits in the same square until something kills him or destroys him, and some of them are all over the world, and some of them are in between, but things are tied into the setting. I don't have my NPCs are tied in. They come with a backstory. Even the ones that just pop in, I try to come up with a backstory. Like, okay, what is this person? At least some ideas. This a person who lived in the village everywhere, was a refugee from somewhere, come from somewhere, so to speak. So as soon as the characters start talking with the NPC and I give it a name, it needs to come with a backstory, at least a 2-sentence backstory. And so that's very much part of it. But my campaigns are very kind of setting heavy, so to speak, and lore heavy,
which is a great style. And note that Greyhawk lore is meant to be used and meant to change as history is developed in your own campaign. So note that, and I'm saying this from an area of love, Anna, for all of those canonistas out there, that Greyhawk lore starts at a point that you choose, and then it's not going to be at that point what exact lore is.
Exactly. After that, then chaos take over and your campaign takes on a life of its own, so to speak.
Exactly.
And you will change things and add things, and you can go back in history and run. That's something I would never thought about before, but now when I'm starting to think, what did the planet look like back in 10,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, I'm starting to feel like now I want to think about running an adventure there, just to introduce the players to what the place look like. And in a way that will be kind of cool to run a couple of sessions at a place, what it looked like 1,000 years ago, to introduce the players instead of talking about what happened 1,000 years ago, or have the players read about it, play it. Have the characters there play it, and then at least in somewhat. The problem is that you can't change history, because if this happened in your campaign 1,000 years ago, you can't have characters unmake it. Well, I guess you can. Then you have to start figuring out, how does this work with time travel and changing history and stuff. But it's possible to meaning the sky is the limit. You can do a lot of things as DM with your own version of Greyhawk, and I think you should experiment a bit and take it to where you want it.
Absolutely. take it where you want to take it, and that's the thing. But so here's the genius, and I'm gonna mention a couple things that I think are genius for reasons. Number one, if any of you ever played Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO, it takes place 2,000 years before the Star Wars movies and all. Okay. Two, if they ever get this Second Age TV show for Lord of the Rings up with the Witch King of Angmar and all that.
Mhm.
I think that
Yeah.
and Numenor, that's genius too. Because no matter what happens in those things, and if you do an adventure 10,000 years in the past, it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect what happened in the
Exactly.
timeline.
As long as you go far enough back in history, it doesn't matter. But
Yeah,
you can,
exactly.
yeah,
And that's what I love about those
Yep.
ideas.
Yep.
It will not really make a major change on what happened in the normal
Yep.
canon timeline.
Mhm.
So,
and if you're really sneaky, you don't tell the players when you start. They will figure it out during the campaign.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So you can so think about that, and you can make you can do something like that. Throw in a curveball here and there, just like Tim threw a curveball in for me, where the Adventure with Evil campaign characters and his city state was 200 years in the past, and we played them, and then he aged them all up and used them against us. Come on, that's genius. That's just literally evil genius on his part. So, some things to think about there. Yeah, I love Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I said I'm going to play some of it during the holidays when I was off, and then I got Twitch partner, and that went right out the door. I had too much going on, Amy. So yeah, way too much. If you go 10,000 years in the past, would you need to remove some? Well, that is a question for Anna to decide. If you go 10,000 years in the past, how magic would be, Mac?
Yeah, that you have to, and that will be very much like depending on the culture.
It's a good
Meaning
question,
you can have like Elven culture might have been advanced, and if you go by the what the published sources write about the Baklu or the Suul, they should be even more advanced. They might be even more, meaning realize that the invoked devastation, the twin cataclysm, involved magic that is more powerful than anything we see in the D&D books in any of the editions, which means that you might have magic that even more powerful, but you should definitely name it different. And so on. So no one have heard of Big B before he was born, so to speak. So that means that you have to change the name of it. But you can definitely introduce even more powerful, like Eldritch magic, whatever you want to call it. You might call it Suul Might Magic or whatever you want, so to speak. Come up with something cool name, label, and slap it on. And there are some mighty wizards who work in conjunction with each other that can create enormously powerful things that ruin the whole countrysides. And the mission might be to escape from them or stop them or something. They might practice for the big ones, so to speak. That might be part of the story, and you go back 3,000 years ago, and they're a couple of hundred years in the making, and they're starting to invent this stuff. And so meaning there's a lot of possibilities. So technology could be more advanced. This seems like Greyhawk, the theme is that there was more advanced civilization, and they kind of deteriorated from there. And so, or you can have the vice versa, that they were primitive and they barely knew what magic was. Undead might be a new thing. In my campaign, for instance, I have the Flan and others, when they encountered undeads the first time a few thousand years ago, that became a big thing. They started to believe they were gods, and that became a cultural phenomena in the Flan, so to speak. The lords and evil, mighty, greedy Flan leaders wanted to be liches because that was the most powerful, cool thing you could be in Flandom back then. So there were like lich lords popping up left and right, and every tribe in the Flan wanted to have a lich lord or a shaman that was kind of undead. They could live on forever and protect them. But the problem was a lot of them turned out to be cynical assholes who wanted to turn everybody undead or something. And Vecna was kind of the top one, the last one that we heard, the last gasp of this culture, so to speak. But there might have been even worse ones before that we haven't heard about, because Vecna kind of overruled them, and the other ones were 500 years prior to it.
Right.
It might be even worse. So you can go back to a time where people were just holding on for dear life, and all the rules and lords were undeads and lich lords who ran with the bloody fist and killed everything, so to speak. So you can a total apocalyptic kind of end of the world kind of campaign.
Well, think about in real world all the Hun and the Mongrels, all the cultures that were obliterated by them. You know, you just don't know,
exactly.
and it's the same thing that could have happened back then too. You just you wouldn't know. It's a great
so if you want to twist it, you can really go back a while and do it, so to speak, if you want to. And you can also tie into a future campaign and run it in the same area, and that way introduce locations and stuff. I was thinking about running a campaign in Shieldlands 2,000 years ago when the Dragonhide caves were actually created. And in a way, I'm going to in this campaign, because there will be a Needfest celebration that will tie into what happened 1800 something years ago, or more than that, 1800 BCY, so to speak. So that will be part of it, where we can actually go back to kind of cool things, and that will be stories that tie into old Flan culture. There will be Dragotha, Caraptis, and from a time where this was a wilderness on the edge of the ice sheet up north, and there were no Iridians anywhere to be seen back then, but people were scared of Caraptis and Dragotha, and it was kind of fun. So that will be part of the plot line, so to speak.
Mac put out some interesting posts there. I think that 2022. I know there's a Cannon Fire big meeting tomorrow night, by the way, on the Discord with future planning. So if you haven't joined that and you want to participate in that, I'm going to put that up. I'm also going to put the Virtual Greyhawk Con Discord, which is getting more and more play too. So note that I think 2022, if we do the right things, will be the golden era is just starting again. Whether it's picked up by WotC, Hasbro or not, who cares, right? We can have the community here do some wonderful things. I think that's the way to go, and we're going to keep on cranking. Thank you, Mac. It's 8 p.m. EST. I will not be there because I will be away. I have a little mini business trip next 2 days, so Monday and Tuesday, so I will be out of town, unfortunately. I'd love to be there, but you know, there's many other people who will continue to push some great Greyhawk stuff coming up here. Hey, Duff, what's up, man? Jimmy Duffy, everyone. Praetors Rejects, 23 months. Very good to see you tonight, man. We're just moving right along, having a little chat here about Antithesis. So as we come on those 2 hours, what's going on, man? So Jimmy's got either the first or second stream of the con. If we have someone take the 8 a.m. to noon, not con, of do quickie shout outs here. It's behind all this stuff. I don't know if I can flip it around.
Or the mega stream, the charity mega.
The charity event, not the con. So so quickie as we talk about what's coming up here. I'll hit this first, and we'll go to Anna, then I'll do the what's coming on this week. Let's talk about this and some of the other cool things that Anna. I came up with an idea today, and Anna just ran with it. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. So let's talk about a couple of these real quick here. So 18th, 19th, and 20th is the There Will Be Dragons, our 4th annual Greyhawk Mega Stream fundraiser event benefiting St. Jude Children's. Yes, because you are participating, Greyhawk Reborn. You are participating, and we will. So if
I hope they're aware of it.
They are. Jay Stupinski, Josh Pop, and myself we're communicating. He's going to probably put up signups for games for them that they're going to be hosting in Warhorn in that setting. Just so Josh is handling that because I got so much on my plate now as it is. But Jimmy Duffy Praetors will be the first stream or the second. If we get, I know Vancouver by Night's looking in to see if they can do it. 8 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern. Friday would be the first slot, but Jimmy's going 12 to 4. And then Troller Games, Steven Chenault, 4 to 8. Then Carlos finishes up that night, 8 to midnight. And he's going to raid in, I think, Mandy, who's going to be finishing up a game 2 for an hour. And then Saturday, it's Will, Wicked Studios, then Lawful Stupid, then Blue Box, then me. And you, Anna, and Eric Mona Saturday night, and then Sunday morning, Time Lord's Wife, and then Wily Hobbit, and we'll have our finale show on Sunday night. So we got some great stuff going on. This is such a wonderful, wonderful background banner, Anna. Thank you so very much for that.
Oh,
so
you're welcome.
note that is coming. But then, so Anna, I don't know how I came up with this, but
Yeah, this was your idea. And
I
that's
love
cool.
I
Yep.
love the Slav Squad because I can't pronounce it, and they're all so excited about the game next Saturday coming up. I have all this stuff out of order. I just gave away what we're talking about on.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
gave that
thought you were
away. My
studying that,
bad.
but
I
now
gave
you.
it away. So
There
I
we
have
go. Yeah.
but that's okay. Here, let me get to this. Where is it? So the Slav Squad's coming up Saturday, and I'm thinking, you know what? Anna's got all these great, hundreds and hundreds of these great new shields. I have them for some of my mercenary companies. The groups need to have heraldry. The groups are repetitive now every couple months. And so I said, Anna, what do you think about making up a shield for the Slav Squad? We'll get them to design it. And then, I don't know, a half hour later, I get this back in Discord. Does anyone know what that is? Let's see if they know in the chat.
Yep.
Who that great piece of new heraldry is for? Out of the blue, I'm like, oh my gosh, how awesome is that? So, yes, 2 drink minimum. Ed Greenwood's group. Anna just went and did it. I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. So we put it in their chat, and so now we have we're going to build heraldry up for the groups that are special groups for Greyhawk, and hey, even the living Greyhawk ones there, Jose, we need to get your group there, which would be really cool.
Yep.
One as well. So, but 2 drink minimum is done, and the Slav Squad, I'm going to get with them and have some really neat things. But Ed hasn't seen this yet because he hasn't gone into Discord. But
Yeah,
Eric
at least he
Menke-
hasn't responded yet. He might have seen it, but we haven't heard any feedback yet. So yeah.
Yeah. Eric
Heraldry from Milwaukee. Yeah.
Yeah, Eric Menke and Tony Winslow Burl both love it, so we know Anna hit a home run on this. And Anna also did this little tidbit too, which we're going to give out to all the streams so they can. Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes. So we have this for St. Jude on as just a shield. I think this is really a nice touch. So for the fundraiser as well. So note that and there will also be a special giveaway. So it'll be, as you know, during the fundraiser, the top donator gets to choose their complimentary gift, and it goes all the way down, right, from where. And so far, we have 7 Larry Elmore prints. We have a free City Grok box set sealed from Gamescape 3D. We have all this other great stuff coming. But Anna's one thing Anna's gonna do. What, Anna, as far as the shield goes?
Well,
for the fundraiser.
We can do a shield design.
Right. So one person as their complimentary gift, and you get to whatever order, we'll get Anna to make up a complimentary. We'll make up a brand new, really cool looking shield, right, for your campaign. Yeah.
Yep.
So that'll be one of the giveaways for the fundraiser as well. So, yep. Well, let me pop that back up there. There's 2 drink minimum. So Slav Squad will be a couple weeks because I want them to develop the logo themselves, and then Anna incorporated it in. Yes, exactly. Isn't that great? So that'll be something cool as another gift for the fundraiser for someone, and we're looking forward to that. Oh, cool, man! Hey, a CNC game. That's really This was when Anna put this in Discord. Like, holy shit, this is great! And so we got it now, and I can't wait for Ed to see it. So. I actually have a logo that idea that Josh Pop gave me, but I'm gonna let the ladies decide it. They're all artists, a lot of them. I'm gonna let them make it. I'm gonna let them design it, and then Anna can incorporate it into the shield design for them. I think that'll be cool. I think they'll really appreciate that, and we got a great group of that for them on Saturday. So Anna, what is going on in your world as we're hitting the shout outs here?
Yeah, today I just dropped the 5th preview of the 2022 Flanny's Moonlight map, and now it really starting to feel like it's getting close to release, to nail down. And the big thing, this was a small update, but with a big thing on it, so to speak. So what I did was that I introduced something I wanted to do for a long time. I introduced a new border level, and this is getting very intricate. Most people will probably never even use it, but for me, it was important. I introduced an imperial border level. So there is now a thicker purple border around the Great Kingdom. And the reason for that is that then I can elevate or elevate the internal borders between the North province and the main as a national level. So I can introduce the baronies of in the North Kingdom, like in the Principality of Highlander, I can introduce baronies and stuff like that. That was something I wanted to do. So I think it works out well. So hopefully people can like it. And I also introduced something from the Gord books that was there, and that was the town of Uskage. And because there is a general Lomor or something that is the Marquis or Margrave of Uskage that is in the Saga of the Old City. So now I put the town of Uskage and I put the marshland of Uskage in the on the map as well. So there is a lot of little things, and there's heraldry and stuff coming from there too that I will introduce into it. So there is some more Great Kingdom heraldry too, and it's kind of cool. I just read 5 pages in Saga of the Old City, and all of a sudden I found heraldry, and I found a name, I found a place, I found a title, and a person, and it's just amazing how much cool stuff you can get out of it. So that is coming, and I'm also working hard on getting more. There's more heraldry coming. I have I posted a few days ago a bunch, like 25 or so news. So there will be a new batch coming out for everybody to be published in. Hopefully, I can get that out tomorrow, and get that updated and put on my Notion site. So and a whole bunch of heraldry, and there's more new heraldry for my patrons to come to, and so right now it's the big thing is to get the 2022 map out the door, so to speak. And I maybe if there's not so many more comments, because the changes and the corrections and stuff haven't come anywhere near as heavy the last week. So that's why I think that we're almost there now. So I will nail down and the most of the things that are left now is to upgrade the legend and the credits. So the legend needs to get the new borders, and there are some other tweaks and stuff that needs to be done, the sea depth and stuff. And when that is done, I will send out a release candidate, and then that will be the final tweaks. And while that is out, I will do a hexed version too. And because that is some days to do a 12-mile hex version. I might be able to do a 30-mile. We'll see, because hexes are tricky and it takes a while. There's a lot of stuff, especially when you have, I don't know how many tens of thousands of little hexes that will be on the map, but they need to be, I have a special program to create them. And so they will be straight. I will not have numbering or anything. There will be straight 12 or maybe as well 30-mile hexes, but at least a 12-mile hex version that will come out. And that hopefully that could be out in 2 weeks. That's what I'm hoping. And then I can dig into the atlas and I can work really hard. And by end of February, we can have the 598 map and the atlas and the 598 map out, because the 598 map should not take that long, because I will simply use the 576 and all the changes here. So it will be more like a straight update, not so much more research or anything like that. So that hopefully will not take that long to do. So yeah, so that is what's coming in. And I'm also working a lot on, I'm for instance right now doing a timeline for my campaign, the timeline tool with the background with that I put the timeline, and I can put little dots and pins on it where different things happen. And that timeline, I'm going to share that with my patrons too, as part of my Meyerhawk program, where you can see where the last ice age was and a whole bunch of stuff. So there is more coming. Yep.
Mel just says we never have time to talk Iron Gate region topics. Come on the show, and then we'll talk them as much as you want.
About Iron Gate. Yes, yes.
You come on. You come on. Give me a date and time, either on. It's probably Sunday.
Yep.
I know it's probably better for you than Wednesday, but come on and we'll talk whatever you. We'll set the topic. Let you set it, Mel. And everyone loves to have you on. So the answer is yes. We can do that. We can do a whole Iron Gate show. As a matter of fact, I'd love to do that. That would be fantastic. So. Oh, you need to tweak the map. Well, we'll just zoom it. Just zoom with it with Anna and give her that stuff. So
Yeah, hang on a second.
easy enough.
I can show it here in the background a little bit here while we talking. So it's actually sitting. So it looks like a little bit like this. So
Oh,
I
okay.
have
You see that? There you go.
Yeah, I have a timeline here. So I put stuff in here, and you can zoom in, and you can see where
Hey,
the
goats.
Great Kingdom was there, and I have all the different types of calendars, and here I have. So I put in all this the historic stuff that has happened and stuff. So I put in all the published one, and then I add some of my own stuff in there as well as we go along. So that's part of my campaign tool, and I will do more presentations on how to use this and stuff too. And there's some, I will put some links and stuff on my Patreon blog and stuff too, because there's some really awesome tools that you can use here. They're all free. That's the other awesome thing about this. Yep.
So, as we're ending our 5th stream in 5 straight days, okay. Let's see what we got here. All right, I kind of gave this away as I messed up. Greyhawk, Mike, Anna, and I will be doing a From the Ashes deep dive on Wednesday night for Legends and Lore. Now, I know this is a step down from Larry Elmore, everyone, but just note, we can't have a Larry Elmore guest on every Wednesday.
No, we
right?
have to. Yeah, we can. It will be hard to beat that one.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to surpass that one. So, really love to get this. Another Greyhawk Mike idea is to do some deep dives into some publications, and I'll tell you, it took me, as I said in chat, it took me about 10 years to incorporate what I wanted to in my campaign, in at the right place, right time for From the Ashes when it came out. So, but we're going to we'll go through a lot of things. There's so many, you're going to see so many tidbits from my campaign from this reference book. A lot of stuff. I mean, there's so much great detail in it, and there's some stuff I don't like, but I use about 90% of it. So,
and From the Ashes is also that interesting in between, meaning you have the box set of 83 that has all the fame, and then you have the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. They came out at 2000, right. But this came out like at 1990 or something like that. I think it was 89, 90, something like that. Yeah. And it was kind of sometimes overlooked, but it is interesting. It's a lot of rehash than some interesting other stuff, and the campaign book and whatnot. But that we talk about on Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely, and that'll be a fun discussion. And then
I
don't think I updated any of my shout outs here because I was just mentally drained here. But yeah, so we continue the Night Stalker's Immediate Assistance. It's a really weird cult adventure where if you know anything about we have a long-term plot line out of Altamira. There's a son of Orcus. Called the Sun. Yeah, they're just known as the Sun. S-O-N. Yes, the Son of Orcus.
Oh, this is so cool. So
yeah,
I'm
and that's the whole. Yeah, there's
I'm
a Son of
writing in that
Orcus.
Son of Orcus.
This is our Bill the Master Crafter's idea. That has run, and in fact, Mike Disney's the first one that kind of figured it out.
I put some dots afterwards.
And in the source that where did all the squatters and where did all the people in in Altamira go? Well, they kind of been swept away by this cult. And now that the cult's getting stronger, they're coming out back into and rampaging through and taking.
Well, I guess
families.
a demon lord needs to have a new generation. They need to have offspring, so to guarantee their
Amy. There was Amy played in the adventure with her illusionist that had the statue in the corner. Exactly. Yeah. See, Amy remembers. Yeah, long term. I always do the long term plots. So, yeah. 12. Curtis, it was only 5, believe it or not. So, and that's what I love about the way the campaign is, just the long-term plot line. So this continues. They're in this big fight with the Beastmen and some demons and some other things. So the whole adventure Thursday might just be a big fight. And then nothing Friday. I only got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday's Gabbin's not finalized. I'm trying to get a DM's roundtable, so I'm not sure on the topic. But then a Saturday night special, night one this week. The Slav Squad returns in a simple task. So how hard can it be? And we'll see them, and we'll get going with them, and it'll take place right from Happy Springs, where they were when they finished and freed Rosie, the last adventure, and it'll take place right from that point. So there's always adventure to be had, and that's what's going on. And note, there'll be more and more details coming out about the fundraiser. I'm not going to activate the fundraiser Tiltify link till February 1st because I don't want to do it too early. But it's going to be the Tiltify thing will go out. All the channels will have the same link, and all the money goes right into Tiltify. It doesn't ever touch any of our hands, so you don't have to worry about that. You'll find out down the road what who and what the Son of Orcus is. Yeah, but that's a long-term plot line because we love using demons in our campaign.
Mhm.
So that's I guess that's about it. And if I missed something, it's
Well,
okay.
you haven't mentioned Gabbin next week.
Right, because I'm hopeful that we're gonna have a DM's roundtable.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
hopeful.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm very hopeful that we're gonna have
Yep.
a DM's roundtable.
That's great. Yeah, because it's time for one.
Yeah, I have a big name. I'm trying a bit in the streaming world, bigger than me, as far as viewer average, that has said that we're gonna go on each other's shows. So,
Oh,
and then I
cool.
have
Yep.
I already have a guest lined up if that happens for next Sunday. But they live on the other side of the planet. That's the problem.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah.
yeah. If that works, then we're gonna have that. We're gonna have a DM's roundtable. I'm trying. I can't do it. By the way, the Sunday of the Super Bowl, we're moving this Gabbin on Monday.
Oh,
my
yeah,
wife
that's
would-
understandable.
yeah, in 3 weeks, so or whatever it is, 3 or 4 weeks. But next week and the week after, we'll have 2 Gabbins coming up, and the DM's Roundtable will be one of the next 2 weeks. We're more than helpful.
Cool. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd love to see. I'm gonna shoot for 3. 3 DM seems to work well, plus you and me. I think that works very well in the discussion. All right, so ready for the giveaways? Last call. All right, so Ravenloft and the Fiend Folio. Reprints, of course, everyone. And Demons and Devils, which is a great publication by Necromancer Games and Saltmarsh, all reprints, right? 2 of them. And if you're outside the continental United States, let me know and we'll work something out, okay? So don't fret. Or outside of the area where it's crazy for my shipping costs here. But note that we always want everyone to get something, okay? So here we go. Medfergie, you're in already. I'm positive of it. Thank you all for the support these last 5 days. It's been fantastic. We were an all-time high on subs. We surpassed 7,300 followers this afternoon. Thank you. That's my goal for the month. Started at 7,200, and I got to push it up again. And we still got another week, and we still got another full week of streaming content. So yeah, things are really rolling along. I got a lot of driving to do the next 2 days too, so it'll be fun. But get back. Snowball is rolling, Balford. Yes, as long as it doesn't roll and crush the house, if you know what I mean. So thank you, man. I really appreciate the kind words. All right, I'm gonna close this out. Whew. Yeah, Vamp, you won yesterday. You're getting your big bag of dice. It's going out tomorrow, so it'll be shipped to your location. I love your town name. Your town name's a big name in another state, but you're in a different state. I found that entertaining there. I did not know there was one. Closing it out. Can't get that's funny, Dr. Faust. That is freaking funny. Mike Saxton, Retro Gamer Meth.
Oh, cool.
I mean, is Mike still lurking on there? Is Mike around? I don't. Yeah, Mike's on. Mike's on, and he's VIP'd, so he's good. All right, Mike, which one do you want? I'm assuming you want Ravenloft and the Fiend Folio, or the other one. You tell me which one you want. All right. Demons and Devils and Saltmarsh reprint or Fiend Folio and Ravenloft. You just let me know. Ravenloft, I think I got it. All right. You can't go wrong with either of these giveaway sets. You really can't. Second winner. And sit tight. We're going to rate in the Darling. Oh, Josh Winged Horizon. Wow.
Oh.
He's on too. Josh Starrett. It's good. I get to send you something. Now I know where you live, which is really disturbing on my part. No, I'm just kidding. Good deal, Josh. All right, Josh Starrett, everyone, who I've known since I started streaming because he played in DM Shane's great game on the Greyhawk channel. So very cool. He's still in chat, so I see him. So I'll send those to him, and he will be appreciative of that, definitely. So congrats, everyone. Yeah, he's in chat, so I'm gonna. and he got subbed, so it's a good thing. So we're gonna raid into Darling because I raided into Bones last week. They're playing in the same game. I told them I'd alternate raiding into them on Sundays. So we're raiding into Darling Creepshow tonight and have fun, just hang out with them and appreciate them. And I'm hopeful, Vamp, next Sunday night. I'm hopeful it'll be during Gabbin. This time slot, 7 to 9 Eastern. I'm hopeful that I can get that to happen this time. I have one guest locked in if I can get the big guest, and then I'll find a third for it. So, yes, just remember, it doesn't matter what edition you game. Just enjoy gaming, whether it's Greyhawk or not. But note there's a great community here for Greyhawk. Take advantage of it. Join the Discords, join the Cannon Fire Discord, join the Virtual GrowdCon Discord. There's also a Greyhawk Online Discord, but you got to get that through their website. We're going to raid into Darling, and I'll see you Wednesday for only a 4-stream week coming up. Anna, thanks for everything.
Oh, you're welcome.
What a great week. So here we go.
Yeah.
Setting that out. I hope to see you all Wednesday night. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. I did not switch. That was yeah. Oh, that shout out was good. So. Thank you, Gitano. Woo! Going to set the rate up. It's good to have someone to raid into on Sunday night too. That 82 win, awesome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great week. See you Wednesday.